dummy and straightened for Walsh, but he's reeled in by the defence of Williams and put down just attacking side of halfway, 15 in from the right wing side. Last play for the Bronx. Hunt goes blindside with an interesting chip. It was a touch finder. That's an interesting play. It does find touch. Parramatta with the ball, it doesn't from their own line.
Zeno, when you have a look at that, you can just see Brisbane now with Reynolds, Hunt, Walsh, and Ezra Man to a lesser extent. They've got plenty of kicking firepower, which is crucial as you go deep in this competition for a bit of variety to take the pressure off the kicker.
And add in Billy Walters when he gets out there, he's got a good kicking game as well. He's kicked a couple of 40-20s this year. I will say this, Reece Walsh was upset that he didn't get a penalty. Sean Russell looked like it hit him in the head, but it's real play on. Parramatta working it out of their own territory.
Just beyond the 30, out on the right edge of the field. Smith out of dummy half, passes infield to Hopgood. Jermaine Hopgood got his arm free for an offload, but won't give it. Now Haas joins the tackle led by Hunt and Carrigan. Eels play at 6 inside their own half, no score early on. Walker at the line, met by Big Willison, who has improved markedly in the last month.
Massive improvement.
And Walker to play it. Oh, he held on too long though. We've given him a wrap. Ping, ping, and the wavy fisty for the Eels. So Paolo takes a settler, taken 41 metres out.
No, and actually he's going to be in trouble. Willison, his third man in around the ankles. Late tackle, yeah.
Penalty to Parramatta.
Yeah.
Report now. I think it's Haas.
Are you sure? He wants to see the replay again. I think you'll find here.
Oh, yeah, you're right. But he got up and got out of there quickly, Willison.
He knew he'd done something wrong. Yeah, that might be a bit too easy, actually.
That's...
You don't need to go that low.
Lazy.
Yeah.
So his third start at prop, Xavier Willison, this year. He's had 5 starts in the second row and 10 games off the bench. And it looks like Lomax is going to try and take 2 points here with a longish range penalty goal attempt, 40 metres out, but straight in front.
Well, they actually earned the opportunity to get the lead here, Parramatta. They've played really well the first 10 minutes of this game, Q. As I said last week against Canberra, in Canberra, they led the competition leaders 16-12 at half-time, causing grief, and they only completed at 59%. With Moses now steering the ship, you just can see they've gone up a gear. They've got plenty of enthusiasm, a bit of skill, so they're going to test the Bronx here tonight.
I like the fact that Joash Parley's able to play off the back of Mitch Moses, who last time he was here, Billy, led New South Wales to a victory, 18 points to 6. His kicking game was great on that night too.
Forgot about that.
This guy kicked a few clutch goals as well. Lomax straight in front, 40 metres out. Nice strike on the right boot. Raises the flags and Parramatta strike first in game 2 of Friday night footy. 10 minutes played, Eels 2, Broncos yet to score around the grounds. AFL tonight, there's 2 games interestingly enough. The big Sydney derby is just underway. Early on the Swans have a 5-point lead over the Giants. The game in Melbourne's a bit advanced on that. They're into the second quarter and the Bulldogs 53 lead Essendon 15. Calls available on the ABC Listen app.
Adam Reynolds has just given it to Todd Smith. He's walking along there. You can see he's right here on the sideline. The whole way from the halfway, he basically walked out to the sideline telling him what he thought of that decision.
I thought it was very
elementary.
I thought it was a worthwhile penalty. He deserved what he got, Willison, and the Bronx there. No, so you can't go in third man in that late, that low.
Barlaw returns the ball into the field of play, taken 12 metres from the southern in goal area. Really good crowd for Friday night footy here. And why not? The locals realise their team's on a bit of a roll as Dylan Walker runs into the defence. He'll take the tackle just centre park and 30 from that southern end. Smith now directs it to the right through Moses onto Geimer. Meets the defence out on that right edge. Attackingly for Parra, left edge defensively for Brisbane. Mam leads the tackle. Now one man infield to Hopgood once again, who's putting in a very good shift early on. Carrigan makes the tackle on Hopgood. Parra on halfway. Last play of the set, it's a Moses bomb. Again, very deep. Walsh watches and catches 8 metres from his own line. He skids a little as he gets traction and then takes the tackle on a rather conservative kick return for Reece Walsh. 2-0 the scoreline in favour of Parramatta. So if you think, Billy, statistically, we've had injuries to Ben Hunt this year and injuries to Reece Walsh. Who do you think probably stacks up as a more important member of this Broncos team?
Great question.
Tick, tick, tick. Here's Hunt going to his left for Haas up to the 30.
I think Reece Walsh on his game brings something different, better, the speed, the impact, but you're splitting hairs?
Well, I did some numbers. I'll get them to you in a minute. Willison taken 5 from halfway. Last play of the set for the Broncos, and again, it's a Reynolds high kick downfield and taken comfortably by Papali on his 10, and he runs it back just beyond the 20 met by Carrigan and Haas. So Ben Hunt's played 11 games this year. Broncos have won 6 of them. Reece Walsh has played 11 games this year. Broncos have won 8 of them. So without Reece Walsh in the team, the Broncos have played 6 games and won only 2 of them. So, and it's been a bit up and down. And I mean, they're only numbers, but it's just, I thought it was certainly worth having a look at. Now we're getting to the back end of the year with this body of work as Williams plays it for the Eels. Inside their own half, right side shift, short ball from Walker, doesn't get through. It was a good hit from Willison on Hopgood. Eels just inside their own half with Moses again to kick high and deep at the end of the set. Karapani says, I'll take it, Reece, and he does. Defensive left corner on the 10, and he saunters back to the 20 and just beyond. Give him 5 post contact meters. Good run.
What we're seeing here, for those that are kicking purists, there's kicking royalty out here. Moses and Adam Reynolds are 2 of the best kickers I've ever seen in my life. They know how to kick a football.
Blindside shift, Walsh on to Karapani. Nice tackle, though. Cuts him down by Lomax just before he got away. 6 again, Lomax with a bit of a hold down. So Walsh runs infield and he's taken Brisbane 41 metres out, but with a fresh set. 2-0 the scoreline in favour of Parramatta after an early Lomax penalty goal. Willison down the middle third. Stopped 35 metres out. Played to Hunt, passes right for Reynolds. Second man for Mam, dummying and straightening, but a good tackle made by Jack Williams to put him down. Ezra Mam, 25 out from the Eels line. Hunt passes left and centre third for Carrigan, keeps it moving through the hands. Reynolds, Walsh cut out to the edge. Karapani has to come in field. The defence cuts him down. Very disciplined defence there. Bensony coming across to make the tackle. Now back to the right. Walsh on to Reynolds. They go laterally across the 20. Give it to Hunt. Well read by Hawkins. In his face. Oh, Hunt flops out an offload after he was called held. Used to be a penalty in the old days. Now they just give him another go, Bill. So
very flexible in that area these days. You're right.
Mam to the right end of the set. 25 out, a shallow kick from Reynolds. Comes down 10 metres out. Batted backwards and sideways. Jesse Arthurs can't gather it. And Josh Addo-Carr is blowing up in the face of the touch judge. Penalty goes to Brisbane. Gee, that was a bit aggressive from the Fox, ain't I?
Yeah,
right in his face.
He ran an escort. He didn't like the decision. I'm a bit on Foxy's side, actually. I didn't think that it was that bad. We'll have a look here. He's running back. Does he necessarily change his position? No. He just stands in the same position. So I'm with Josh.
He's allowed to make himself big, which I suppose he did.
I concur. He did make himself big. He stopped, planted. That's where Todd Smith could see that there's opportunity. Maybe there was a little bit of a block, but I think Zano's on the money. So fortuitous for the Bronx. Zano, what's impressing me is the defensive integrity of the Eels. They for a side that's sitting 16th, they certainly at the moment are playing a lot better than that.
Yeah, and they conceded 40 last week against the Raiders, but there was a lot of fatigue in that. I really like what Jason Riles is doing with the side. I think it's right to give the youngsters a go, and you're right, I think he's built some defensive structures into the side and given them some resilience, but it helps having Mitch Moses. He's cleaned up a couple of incidents already, Q.
Broncos opt for the penalty goal. Reynolds from out on the right raises the flags. So Adam Reynolds is now 65 from 79 this year, and that's 2-all here at Lang Park through 16 minutes of play. Friday night footy on ABC Sport. Quentin Hull, Billy Moore and Zane Bojack after the Cowboys were too good for the Dragons, 38-32.
So just for a retort, if I may.
Yes.
You had Broncos players coming back in and the success rate. Ezra Mam.
Ezra. He's played 7 games.
Yeah.
And the Broncos have won 5. So of the 10 that he didn't play, they were 50-50. Yeah. So the thing that I look at is, okay, how do they go when they're not in the team? When Walsh is not in the team, 6 played 2-1. With Ezra not in the team, 10 played 5-1. With Hunt not in the team, I need to do 6 played and 4-1. So there you go. Up to the 20 off the restart. Broncos have got it through Carrigan. Just a couple of metres beyond the 20, in fact. 1-2 punch again. Haas looks okay. He went off after the warm-up looking a bit ginger, but he's okay. Takes it to the 30. Left edge for Mam. Ezra comes infield, gets cut down.
And I'll throw another one in the mix. If Adam Reynolds went down injured, that is all she wrote for their premiership chances.
Well, he's an easy stat this season, Zano, because he's played every game. So 17 games played, 10 wins, 7 losses, just like the team. Walsh from halfway with a bomb downfield at the end of the set. It's caught comfortably by young Papali. I'm interested in seeing tonight. He's pushed back, moved from 5'8" last week, and still no Dylan Brown in the team. If you are just late joining in, he was named in the extended squad and wasn't cut off at the 24-hour cut-off, but not included tonight. Eels up to the 20, 2-all the scoreline, as Addo-Carr comes in from his wing and gets to the 30 or just beyond. Put on his back. Young Riley Smith's underneath him there at dummy half. One man to the right for Dylan Walker, so a young man to a veteran, and that's what Jason Rolls seems to be doing here. He's got a couple of hard heads around some young talent to rebuild this club.
Well, that's the blueprint for success long term to do that.
Smith from dummy half. Kick downfield's got good territory on it. Into the in-goal area, Walsh gathers. Couple of chases in front of him. He steps Moses. He gets to the 10 before being cut down by the second wave of defence. Benson and Gona cut him down, but gee, Reece Walsh gets into more than a gallop. He just gets into a trot here. And boy, don't the crowd get excited. 0467 920 222. If you want to get in touch, please send us your name and where you are texting from.
They've got this in a really serious arm wrestle here, the Eels. Their enthusiasm, their line speed, their pass selection, it's all high quality. They've given the Bronx a great run.
To all the scoreline. Yeah, this first 20 minutes has gone quickly. It's been a good game. Reynolds, dummy, coming infield right edge, but tackle made by Williams. NRL logo, 2 metres inside his own half. Back to the left and centre field. Walsh will kick downfield at the end of the set. Right down the middle of the ground, kicks for territory. Well gathered by Papali, 5 from his own line. Gets some momentum up to the 20 and into the tackle of Willison. Power to start this set, 25 from the southern in-goal area on what is... You could not get better winter football conditions. It's dry, it's not too cold, yet cold enough so you can go all night. Gorgeous for Friday night footy at the Cauldron as Lomax gets to the 30. And Ref Smith wasn't happy with where he played it, so gives him another go. Addo-Carr, 1 man to the left and 15 from halfway when tackled. Peter from Caboolture says if Reynolds gets injured, Ben Hunt would slot into number 7 nicely. Yeah, they've got the whole band back, haven't they? Walsh, and Mam, Reynolds, and Hunt, all of those playmakers. Smith to the right, through Barlow, Parramatta to the edge, Moses, Papali onto Russell, Shibasaki sort of didn't get him, comes again because Mam makes the tackle. Para out on the right edge, 45 from Brisbane's line, Moses is rushed at but gets a high, deep kick downfield at the end of the set, it'll bounce, watch, wow, where it bounces backwards, Parramatta hands, Russell gathers, chips, regathers, scores! What a try! Sean Russell, advantaged by a favourable bounce, but then made his own luck with a chip and chase, and Parramatta score first on a Mitch Moses bomb that was not caught. 6-2, kick to come.
The key thing you just said it, Q, the bomb was not caught. You do not let the ball bounce, because rugby league balls do exactly what you don't want them to do sometimes, and it bounced perfectly for the Eels. Disaster for the Broncos. Walsh let it bounce. It came back into the hands of Russell, but the job wasn't done there, Q. As you said, he had plenty of work to do. Really good, quick decision-making to put a chip kick in over the top. Favourable bounce there. Great work by the Eels. The blue and gold, mainly gold, have got their noses in front, and they've earned it. Well done, the boys from Parramatta.
Well, he hasn't been out there since round 14, Mitch Moses, but what a kick that was. It spiralled in the air. It just made everyone feel nervous in that Broncos back three. And then Shawnee Russell, after getting the bounce back, getting in his hands, chips ahead and scores. What a brilliant way to score your 5th try of the season, 24th of his career. That's a ripper for the blue and gold.
And we've got our great friend Parramatta, Rachel, with us. Hello, Rachel, on the text 0467 920 222. She says, please don't give us the stats on how many games the Eels have won without Mitch Moses. I hadn't prepared that one, Rachel, so I'll take it under advisement. I'll let that go. But here he is back in the team. And that kicking game, as you mentioned, Billy, Moses and Reynolds, boy, it's
Top class.
It's creme de la creme. Lomax with no angle for the conversion hits it and raises the flags. Parramatta 8, Brisbane 2, and we play 22 minutes on Friday night footy at Lang Park.
Say no fair comment. The Broncos seem to be in third gear.
I got a feeling that they thought this was going to be an easy win because, to me, even the first couple of sets, I thought they were just rolling through them. And the other impact is, too, if Payne Haas is a bit uncertain about where he's at. They're coming off a bye. Remember, Billy, when you come off a bye, you're a little bit slow to start. But they've got to fire themselves up now because this blue and gold army from Parramatta, they've come here to win tonight.
Well, does the all gold represent perhaps the banana peel game for Brisbane, who have won 5 in a row? The Eels haven't won since their round 16 victory over the Gold Coast Titans. So 3 losses and had a bye in that time as well. Bowler with the first carry beyond the 10. Williams next carry. Pushed back by 3 and 4 Broncos defenders. That's a good tackle. Williams still only a dozen from his own line. Played to Smith. Marcus not square. Well done, Riley Smith. And he's got that penalty sucking in Ben Hunt as well. He'd like that. Hunt not square at marker.
Well, unlucky there, I reckon, Ben Hunt, because I thought he was square. It was the other marker who wasn't involved in the tackle. But anyway, they've capitalised on the fact that they've got a penalty to get themselves out of trouble. And the Eels are full of confidence in running here, Q.
That being said, Eels fans were feeling good this time last week, watching on and listening on in Canberra.
Maybe there's a learn from last week that brought that knowledge to the cauldron tonight.
Yeah, and the Raiders ended up winning that comfortably, 40-16. But Parra very good in the first half there. They've only won 5 games this year. Out on the right, it's played by Williams back to Walker, now Moses to Hawkins, and then on to young Papali, taken down by Reynolds one-on-one. Joash Papali plays it there. Passed infield by Russell to Hawkins, to Hopgood, to Walker, through the hands to Paolo, picked up and dumped in the middle of the park. Eels are 32 metres out. Parramatta leading the game 8-2. Now Walker at the line, back to the left. Hawkins intercepted by Adam Reynolds. Oh, this is something. Can the little legs go 70? He's got 30 to go, 20 to go. Here comes Papali. 5 to go. Drags him down, but the momentum with the senior citizens discount saw him slide into the in goal and score.
Penasini chased him down, but in the end, it was perfect. Another metre, no try, but that was as far as those little legs were going to carry him. And as you said, momentum in the slide factor Q got him across the wide line. Well read, the skill set Zano in that intercept. He could see the play unfolding, Reynolds, and he took a stance and he knew exactly where to stand because he understood where it was going to unfold. Brilliant slide of Andrews, so thank you very much. Picks it up, runs, 65 metres, like it wasn't 66. Well done, Adam Reynolds.
I wonder whether or not he might have picked a pocket of footy, Dean, because he played with him at the Rabbitohs, didn't he? And he knows him a little bit well and perhaps got a read. So, and then the little legs of Adam Reynolds, the former mascot Jet, he had to keep going, and great effort too, has to be said, by Benson to try and bring him down. Almost got there, but wasn't good enough. Now, this is interesting for me. Reynolds has decided to give the kick now to Reece Walsh. The interesting thing is, Reynolds, after kicking that first penalty and now scoring that try, his 4th of the season, 54th of his career, is that he's now only 8 points away from bringing up 2,500. So I hope this isn't a permanent thing tonight that he's not kicking.
Well, earlier in the season, remember when he hurt himself after scoring a try, either scoring the try or kicking the ball away in celebration, then he didn't feel great with the kick and came from the field?
Yes.
So whether or not you just don't want to stretch the hamstrings after running 70 metres. Walsh from out on the right, he's no slouch. He's got a perfect record for the season, Reece Walsh. That's 6 from 6. He converts the try to level the scores. 14 and a half minutes left in the first half. Brisbane 8, Parramatta 8. And now we're just getting another replay.
Oh, he read that perfect.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out where he started the jaunt. I reckon it's maybe 65 metres. But when Adam Reynolds does sportsman's nights in the years to come,
85.
No, he's taken that in the front bar of the Caxton Street Hotel, and then it's gone all that way. And I outran the Fox. He was in that. Fox was nowhere near him, but that, you put Mayo on the story.
Oh, trust me.
You've never put Mayo on the story.
Trust me, I know exactly what you do.
No, not at all. Eels with the restart, and Karapani takes it into the defence and is about 8 metres from that Caxton Street in-goal area. 0467920222. If you want to get in touch, please send us your name and where you're texting from as the Broncos run it up around the grounds half-time. The Western Bulldogs doing a number on Essendon. They lead 65-17. Quarter time of the... where is it? Out at the showground tonight, isn't it? The Giants hosting the Swans. Swans 23, Giants 8 at quarter time. Here 8-all, Haas with the ball for Brisbane. Taken down 5 inside his own half, 20 in from touch on the left, and that's the last of the set off the kickoff from the try. Reynolds mishits a kick out to the western side. It bounces dangerously though for Parra. Picked up by Arthurs. He decides to whack it on his boot, kicks it infield, but straight to young fullback Papali. He's got Mam in front of him and also Shibasaki, and that pair combined to stop him 23 metres out.
You can see the Bronx are awoken now. Their defence has picked up. Their aggressiveness around the contact has really improved in the last 5 minutes.
Zab texts, my word, did my mother Karen nearly jump out of her seat hearing Reynolds score. Hope she's okay. Good on you, Zeb. Eels with it, 9 inside their own half. 8-all the scoreline. Barlaw pops it off his left shoulder. No way through for the Parramatta ball carrier off the bench. Dury's into the action. Plays the ball there, now Hawkins. He'll kick downfield at the end of the sec, finds the defensive right corner. Walsh has to go scurry, gathers near his goal line and then lies down on his stomach. Does not want to run the ball into the tackler, he just flops down.
Correct me if I'm wrong, the thing called a voluntary tackle?
Yes.
Are you allowed to do that?
Well, if the defence is smart enough not to jump on him, but the defence wasn't smart enough not to jump on him. Yeah, that's the way it works, right? Yeah, he literally just flopped down in front of...
He jumped on the floor.
Yep, in front of a Parramatta defender, and if he doesn't get up or, the referee's able to penalise him, but he didn't. It was a bit bizarre. Carrigan rampaging down the middle. A couple of close contact meters. Stopped the dozen out. Last play of the set. 12 minutes to half-time. 8-all the score. Kick downfield from the Broncos. It's caught by young Papali. Boy, he's a smooth mover. Tackled about a dozen from halfway on the kick return.
And of course, Oyungi's out injured. Imagine the talent that they've got at their disposal next year with Mitch Moses pulling all the strings. Wowee.
Yeah, Joash Papali looks pretty confident back there in the number 1. Right side shift for the Eels. But doesn't get them too far upfield. Played out there by Guymer, 5 from halfway. Now Moori, good quick service from dummy half. Gains almost a dozen into attacking territory. 41 out and a wavy fisty. Didn't pick up what that was for, Billy. What is it? Ruck infringement. 6 more for Parra.
Yeah, last week Dury coming off the bench made a big impact. He's doing the same tonight.
Now, Tuivasa is hitting a very strong tackle, another of the young forwards. Reynolds in that tackle with Hetherington. Now left side, Papali gives it on to Williams. Staggs comes in to make the tackle in company with Ricky. Eels are 15 in from the left, but only 10 from the Broncos line. Tuivasa on a straighting run. He's stopped 5 to the left of the uprights and only 5 metres out. Smith directs it to the right for the Eels. Give it to Hawkins, second man Moses. Tries a grubber, doesn't hit it well. Jumped on by Ezra Mam, but only rolled off his toes. And Mam dives on it. Broncos ball 5 from their own line. And Moses is limping a little. He's limping, Zane.
Yeah, and he's coming off groin and ankle injuries. That's not good for the Parramatta Eels. He's trying to run it out. He's over on that eastern sideline. The trainer's running straight over to him. Let's hope he's okay.
Yeah, I think his legs has been stepped on. It definitely looks to be an ankle injury for mine, but...
A little twist, maybe?
Yeah, it doesn't look too severe, but that's an unfortunate finish to that set. Promised a lot, delivered nothing, but that's the piggyback penalty the Broncos want. 10 minutes to go in this first half. Let's see if the Bronx can make the Eels pay.
You think this half's gone quickly?
Very
fast. You know it's a good game of footy, but you feel like the clock's...
It's been a great arm wrestle, great arm
wrestle. It's an absolute ripper, guys.
Yeah, better than what we expected so far. 30 minutes done. And a penalty goal and converted tries for both teams. It's 8-all the scoreline after the Cowboys beat the Dragons 38-32. Friday night footy on ABC Sport with Carrigan with the ball. 5 from halfway. Passes to the left for Mam. Over halfway, knocked on by the Broncos. It came off the chest of Brendan Piakura. He has knocked that on.
Yeah, they're good at that left-hand side with Mam a couple of times. Threatened. That time he just didn't get the ball into position yet. Dropped it straight away and then was tackled. Great defence by the Eels, but sloppy by the Bronx. And I think that's a real dangerous play to go that side, because with Walsh and Reynolds sitting on the right, the left sometimes is undermanned defensively. So I reckon there's points down there that's got to complete better.
Moses fed that scrum and he looks a little bit more comfortable about his body now, having had a moment. I think it was just a little twist of the ankle, Para fans, so you can breathe a little bit easier. Eels with the ball, left edge and 41 metres from the Broncos line. As Dury plays the ball back to right and centre field through Hawkins to Moses, straightening run from young Geimer. Another product from Tamura.
It looks good.
Yeah, up to almost the 30, back to the centre of the park for Hop. Good rushed at, but bounces off the tackle of Jensen and Hetherington, so those reserve forwards out there for the Bronx. Tackles made, 25 out, down the middle forward to Avaiti, receives the ball and had it stripped of him, lost it. Ben Hunt takes it, pops it past Walsh, can't find runway before being cut down by Hopgood, and just as well Hopgood cut him down because Walsh hit the accelerator quickly. Broncos have got the ball, a little over 8 minutes left in the first half, and we're locked at 8. Quentin Hull, Billy Moore and Zane Bojack with you at the cauldron as Karapani gets to the middle of the park for the Bronx. Plays it to Hunt, given on to Jensen. Jensen, a one-out carry, gains 10. 40 from the Parramatta line as he plays it to Ben Hunt, back to the right for Reynolds, runs it at the line, inside line, Hetherington, beats one, beats two, up to the 20, great try! Hetherington steamrolls two defenders, pops his legs to scurry away from the oncoming defence. Oh, and he was a battering ram there that paved his own path to put the Broncos back to the lead.
Outstanding try. Kobe Hetherington, one of my favourite bench players in the game. When he comes on in attack or defence, he makes a difference. And that was just all Hetherington. Took the ball into the line, pass from Reynolds, back on the inside. He gets around the defenders, runs over the top of the fullback, and then has the pace to draw away. The hooker tried desperately to throw his arms at Riley Smith, but to no avail. Great try there by the back rower from the Broncos. Great try. And the byproduct of that, Q, was sloppy play by the Eels. They haven't completed their last 3 sets. And as I said, last week against the Raiders, they were more than in the battle, but they were completing only at 59%. The same thing's happening tonight. Fatigue sets in, they make mistakes.
First try of the year too for Kobe Hetherington. Adam Reynolds to try and convert from straight in front. Most elementary of conversion attempts. So Reynolds back on the kicking tee. 2 from 2. Not bad when you've got Reece Walsh as the backup there as well.
Plus you give Reece Walsh the hard ones.
Yeah, from out wide, so that's 14-8 in favour of the Broncos. 6.5 to the break. Zane Bojack on the touchline.
Yeah, so now he's now only 6 points away. And look, this is interesting because using one of Billy's great analogies, we do have a fox on the wing right in front of me, but they invited the fox into the hen house, didn't they? And Kobe Hetherington, I did hear his dad on radio today. He's about to celebrate that 95 premiership with the Bulldogs down at the SFS this weekend. He said Kobe does all the 1%ers. That doesn't necessarily sell to a club that you're trying to get a contract with, but he's just scored a try, his first of the season. That's going to help him get another contract.
Glamour stuff. Yeah, look at the dotting of the I's and crossing of the T's. Good point, Zano. Jensen takes the ball just beyond the 10, first carry of the new set. Just over 6 minutes left in this first half. Harris been really good. But Broncos back to the lead with that run from Hetherington. Now Carrigan middle third, just beyond the 30. Taken down by Jack Williams. Carrigan plays it there to Hunt. To the left to the try scorer. Hetherington through the hands. Mam to Walsh. Gone to Shibasaki, but he is met by a brilliant jam-in tackle from Lomax coming in off his wing. Played 8 from halfway. One man back to the right and centre field for Jensen. Put down on his back.
Ripping shot by Lomax. Tackle had to be made and was done brilliantly.
Last play, right on halfway. Reynolds with the kick downfield. Addo-Carr has to come forward. He leaps and catches it. Sort of bumped into in the air. Ref lets it go. The Fox beats a couple before being taken on his own 30. Josh Addo-Carr with a good kick return. Now the young fullback, Papali out of dummy half, and that's what he prefers, Papali. I'm quite sure how long it'll take for him to change to Papali'i, but that's the way that he prefers at the moment.
He's got good footwork, I know that one.
Yeah.
Think about him.
Lomax over the 20, over the halfway line. doing some work upfield, Zach Lomax. 5 minutes to the break. Brisbane lead 14-8, but Parramatta eating into attacking territory here. Dury's taken on a run, 35 out. Plays the ball now. De Silva directs it right to Avite. He's put down in a very aggressive tackle from Piakura to the right. Last play, Eels. Moses from 20 out. A shallow chipper. Lomax goes down, having taken a little nudge from Sibasaki. And the referee's buying. What do you reckon, Bill?
Yes, worthwhile penalty, deserved.
He went fishing, Zach, didn't he?
He did, but you watch the line he's running. He's in a really dangerous position. That would have been tough. Karapani up against Lomax. That would have been a 50-50 call. Shibasaki, yeah, I'm happy to say that's worthwhile a penalty. Let's see where the Eels can level the scores here, Q. Great way for them to finish this half.
Yeah, just took a little step to his left, so shifted his line slightly, but Lomax went down, as all players do these days, to make sure the referee sees it. So 4 minutes to the break. Parramatta on the attack. They trail 14-8. Young to Avite, taken on the first play, only 5 out now. Swung to the left to Silva, through Moses to Hawkins. Inside line from Williams, but against the grain, it's well read by Carrigan. Makes the tackle with Hetherington. Eels straight in front, only 6 metres out. Back to the right. Hopgood gives to Moses. Kick early in the set for Lomax. Brilliant! Caught on his chest. Controls the catch. Scores the try. Oh, where was that in Sky Blue this year? Oh, he wasn't around, was he? Mitch Moses to Zach Lomax.
No, he wasn't around. So let's not worry about what's not there, my friend.
14-12 Broncos kick to come.
What a try. Brilliant work by the Eels. It's a tough kick, but they'll earn the right to go in locked up. They've more than competed here tonight. It's been a great display, the boys from Parramatta. Love the structure there, but Mitchell Moses, he's one of the best players in the game. Great vision, great kick. Tell you who's made a difference, I reckon. It's subtle, but the hooker off the bench.
Talon De Silva.
He is quality. You can see why they chased him. They've got him early from the Tigers, Zano. He can play footy. Great service, and he can read the game. He knew what he was doing there. He's special.
Yeah, he's a man crush of mine, Billy. I've got to be honest with you. I fell in love at Dolphin Oval earlier this year when he was playing for the Tigers. He and Lockie Galvin. I thought, look at these two youngsters. The Tigers, they've got some good ones coming through. And, of course, neither one's at the club anymore. But sorry, Tigers fans. But Talon De Silva, he is so crisp at a dummy half. And just the speed of getting the ball to Mitch Moses, who spotted the gap, saw the Karapani been drawn in. And if there's one man you want catching either a bomb or a little chip kick like that, it's Zach Lomax. So talented. And look, I've got to say this, as Q, I do feel sorry for you. With no Mitch Barnett, no Mitch Moses in the last 2 games, you were up against it. Great Maroons team managed to take advantage, and you're still going to win those games. But yeah, Moses being out, that was massive for Queensland winning this year.
And Eels fans just loving him back as well. This is his 7th game of the season. He hasn't played a lot of club footy the last couple of years.
No.
Lomax from out on the right, a couple of metres in from touch. To level the scores, Zach Lomax with his right boot. It's a right to left curler, which is across the face and no goal. So the Bronx remain in the lead at 14 points to 12. Quentin Hull, Billy Moore and Zane Bojak with you for Friday Night Footy on ABC Sport, with about 40,000 in the house at the Cauldron after the Cowboys beat the Dragons 38-32 earlier this evening.
You can see why Shibasaki went off the line and bumped Lomax out of the way, because Lomax on Karapani, I back Lomax to beat him more often than not. So expect the second half. Mitchell Moses will put in competitive kicks in that part of the field.
Here's a big statement. Zach Lomax is the NRL Superman. He's capable of catching things horizontal. He's a great player.
I thought you were going to do something with the cape then, but no, you went for capable. Still, want to be a better one, Zano. To Avite with the first carry, up just beyond the 10, now left side as the Eels work it up. Second man going forward there was that Russell? I think it was Russell, yep. Now infield, Geimer on the carry. Williams, should I say. Williams plays it, 18 from half play. De Silva, that pass looked a bit dubious to Hopgood. Ref let it go, was almost forward, but no. 90 seconds to the break. Hopgood to play it for the Eels. They're 5 inside their own territory. De Silva to the right from Moses. Gives it on there, but no way through on the edge for Geimer that time. Moses at the end of the set from halfway with a high, deep kick downfield. Walsh on the 10, catches it, but he's reeled in by the kick chase of Lomax. Great tackle, and then he picked him up and shoved him back a bit. Crowd goes off. Reece realises he's got friends in the house, so he plays up to it. The ref says, play ball, boys.
He's lucky. Walsh knew he was outgunned as well as they give a piggyback penalty away here.
Crush a tackle. Now,
he manhandled Walsh here, Lomax. He just, like a little doll, he picks him up and throws him around, but
nothing wrong with that.
What did I say about Superman?
yeah, you're right.
Those pythons you got, Billy, those pythons.
If they get 2 or 3 good carries, they'll go for a 2-point field goal here, the Bronx.
Well, there's only 30 seconds left in the half. Kick for touch finds it 15 from halfway. Only 6 or 7 further upfield on the first carry from Shibasaki out on the left edge. Jensen, he missed the defence. Good line speed from Dury there to ensure that there's no easy progression upfield for Jensen. 17 seconds and tick, tick, tick. Hunt out a dummy half. On halfway. Passes right for Reynolds. Gives to Carrigan. Passes a floater to the edge for Arthurs. Up to the 30. Defence comes. Arthurs slips and gets taken. Hard on the right edge. With 3 seconds left, he just gets to play the ball away. Passes back for Reynolds. 12 in from touch. 42 metres out. The kick only travels 30 on the fly and then rolls dead. He's never going to have the penetration there. And that's the end of the first half. Boy, that seemed to go quickly because it was a good game of footy. The ball in play a lot and the Eels right in this. It's half-time. There's the whistle of referee Smith. Brisbane 14 lead Parramatta 12. Both teams have scored 2 tries and have a penalty goal as well. So the scoring progression went like this. 10 minutes in, Lomax penalty goal, 2-0 Eels. 6 minutes later, Reynolds penalty goal for 2-all. And then Sean Russell scored off a bomb which wasn't caught from Moses. He caught it, he chipped and chased and got it and scored. Lomax with a conversion, 8-2 after 22 minutes. But then shortly thereafter, Adam Reynolds pickpocketed a pass from Dean Hawkins and the Little Legs pumped for 65 metres to score. Walsh kicked the conversion for 8-all. Hetherington rolled over 2 tacklers to score from a 20-metre charge. Reynolds converts from straight in front for 14-8 with about 7 minutes to the break. And then 3 minutes from half-time, that beautiful kick from Moses to the right wing for Lomax, who couldn't convert his own try from out wide. 14-12, that's how it's got there, Billy.
Really enjoying the contest, Q. It's been high quality completion rate. Broncos completing at 94%. The Eels are respectful, very respectful, 85%. They're challenging each other. They've been steered around the park by 2 Rolls Royces in Mitch Moses and Adam Reynolds. There's some fearless contacts, great line speed. There's everything I like about this game. 5v16. The Eels, what I'm seeing here tonight, other than when they get fatigued, they got a few errors in them, they have looked outstanding and don't deserve to be second from the bottom. That shows you how hard the NRL is. For mine, the Bronx, there was that intercept try by Reynolds where he just read Dean Hawkins' former teammate, read him like a book and get the intercept. But the Bronx haven't been spectacular. The Eels and their fans, hopefully they learned from last week, because you remember they led at halftime against the ladder leader Raiders in Canberra and then got blown off the park. The key thing for them is to learn from that, and now with Moses hopefully steering the ship, they won't have that collapse in the second half. If they don't, they are going to really build in confidence, because being 16th, one thing is when you're playing against the heavyweights at their ground, the confidence will build. If they can stay in this contest for another 20 minutes, Q, this game will just go up another gear. For the Bronx, they'll want to end this quickly. They won't want this Eels side to gain too much confidence. Can't wait for the second half.
Good on you, Billy. Great to have former Kangaroo Billy Moore with his thoughts at half-time. It does, on the 40 minutes of evidence, it's the legitimate banana peel game for a Broncos team that's won 5 in a row against an Eels team that's lost 3 in a row. But, boy, with Moses back in the team, you can see the difference. And then young Joash Papali at fullback.
He's run for 111 metres already.
Yeah, he looks so confident too.
He hasn't made any breaks. But I reckon he's got better footwork than Michael Jackson, and he's beaten probably 20 guys. He just needs probably a little bit more game knowledge. His pass list could be a little bit better, but he's definitely got something.
In the AFL, into the third quarter, Western Bulldogs 11 goals 5-71, lead Essendon 2-5-17. That's early third quarter. The Dogs well on top of the Bombers there. Meanwhile, at the showground in the big Sydney derby, the Swans owning the Giants early there. Sydney 6-7-43 lead Greater Western Sydney 1-3-9. That game's early stages, second quarter. Earlier on tonight, North Queensland held off a fast-finishing St George Illawarra Dragons team. Cowboys seemed dominant throughout, but the Dragons came late. Cowboys won it though, 3 votes to Tom Dearden. North Queensland 38, St George Illawarra 32. Keep your messages coming on 0467 920 222. Thanks to Charlie in far North Queensland, loving the call, hoping the Broncos get up. Keep them coming, 0467 920 222. Broncos 14, Eels 12. Halftime at the Cauldron. Second half of Friday night footy game 2 coming up on the other side of the ABC News.
News with Satyam Weinstein. Australia and the United Kingdom will sign a new 5-decade treaty to cement the AUKUS submarine pact, despite an ongoing review by the United States into the agreement. Foreign Affairs reporter Stephen Jedgetts has more.
This announcement isn't directly connected to the review in the sense that it was first announced last year when Richard Marles said they were going to start negotiations, Australia and the UK, on this agreement. The review, of course, is a more recent phenomenon. So this announcement isn't a response to the review, but I think the way it's been presented and perhaps the timing with Auckland as well is very much designed to signal to the United States as well as to the public in both Australia and the UK that these two governments remain absolutely determined to stick with AUKUS.
Israel's embassy in Australia has pushed back on new criticism from Prime Minister Anthony Albanese of the country's actions in Gaza. The Prime Minister has labelled the conflict a humanitarian catastrophe, saying Israel's denial of aid and killing of civilians cannot be defended. In a statement, Ambassador Amir Maimon did not directly reference the Prime Minister's comments, but says condemning Israel for defending itself is wrong. He says pressure should be placed on Hamas, who he says is responsible for the war. Meanwhile, the Palestinian ambassador to the United Nations is calling on other member states to follow France's lead and officially recognize a Palestinian state. French President Emmanuel Macron says the formal announcement will be made at a session of the UN General Assembly in September. Hamas has called it a positive step, while Israel says it rewards terrorism. Ambassador Riyad Mansour says he'd like to see other countries recognize a Palestinian state.
We would be delighted if leaders from all corners of the globe will be meeting in the General Assembly, perhaps to follow suit of France, either to recognize the state of Palestine immediately or to say that they will be joining France.
International law specialists say having a mediator facilitate dialogue between Thailand and Cambodia could prevent more violence. It comes amid an escalating border conflict that's already left 16 people dead, most of which were in Thailand. Bangkok has already rejected mediation efforts from third countries, saying it wants to settle the conflict through bilateral talks. Assistant Professor of International Law at Thammasat University, Thanapat Shinaktamp, says having a mediator could prevent things from getting worse.
ASEAN might not have its role much regarding the binding decisions toward the dispute between two countries, but at least they can ask both countries to come to negotiate with each other. So that would be kind of like the thing that might postpone the situations to not be even worse.
Forensic officers are examining a Perth property where a man was tasered by police before having a medical episode and later dying in hospital. Lily Cristanto has this report.
Police say a man entered the home on Priestley Street in Embleton just after midnight and started smashing windows. They say he behaved aggressively and refused to comply with the directions of officers. The man was then tasered. Police say the man suffered a medical episode minutes later and subsequently died in hospital. Forensic police and detectives remained at the house, occasionally depositing items into large paper bags. The property has been cordoned off with police tape. The incident is being investigated as a death in custody.
Veteran finance journalist Peter Ryan is being remembered as a lovely bloke whose dedication to public broadcasting was second only to his devotion to his family. Peter Ryan joined the ABC in 1984, serving as a foreign correspondent, the executive producer of Business Breakfast, and the founding editor of Late Line Business. The 64-year-old died after being diagnosed with metastatic thyroid cancer and is survived by his wife Mary and daughter Charlotte. Former ABC business journalist Stephen Long says it was a privilege to work alongside him.
Peter loved his work and everything about it. The journalism, the connection to people, the storytelling, but even more, he loved being a dad to Charlotte and he loved his dear wife Mary. And he was just the consummate family man.
Newly formed Afghan women's refugee team will be coached by Scotland soccer legend Pauline Hamill. An unofficial Afghan women's soccer team has been playing in exile in Melbourne with the support of A-League club Melbourne Victory since the Taliban seized power in 2021 and banned women from playing sport. Hamill will lead 3 talent identification camps in the coming months to assemble a squad. ABC News.
Rugby Union's greatest tour is here. ABC Sport has all the live action of every British and Irish Lions game in Australia. Look for the Sports Extra button on the ABC Listen app.
ABC Sports coverage of the 2025 NRL Premiership.
Moses is rushed at but gets a high, deep kick downfield at the end of the set. It'll bounce. Oh, watch where it bounces backwards. Parramatta hands. Russell gathers. Chips. Lee gathers. Scores. What a try. Hawkins intercepted by Adam Reynolds. Oh, this is something. Can the little legs go 70? He's got 30 to go. 20 to go. Here comes Papali. 5 to go. Drags him down, but the momentum with the senior citizens discount saw him slide into the in goal and score. Runs it at the line, inside line, Hetherington beats 1, beats 2, up to the 20. Great try. Hetherington steamrolls 2 defenders, pumps his legs to scurry away from the oncoming defence. Eels straight in front, only 6 metres out, back to the right. Hobgood gives to Moses. Kick early in the set for Lomax. Brilliant. Caught on his chest. Controls the catch. Scores the try.
The 2025 NRL Premiership.
On your radio, ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And on the ABC Listen app.
Game and a half down and half a game to go on Friday night footy on ABC Sport. My name is Quentin Hull. Welcome back to Lang Park in Brisbane. And it's been a really competitive 40 minutes of football. Brisbane lead Parramatta 14 points to 12. But the Eels with captain and halfback Mitchell Moses back leading the ship. They look a pretty tough proposition tonight. 2 tries apiece and a big crowd in attendance. And that's been a pretty good game of footy considering that the Eels have won only 5 games this year and they're on a 3-game losing skid against the Broncos team, still with designs on getting into the top 4, and they've won 5 in a row. So there's a 2-win gap between the 5th place Broncos and the 4th place Warriors going into this round. So certainly if Brisbane has got any thoughts of getting the double chance, they need to pick off a game against a team in the bottom 4. But the Eels certainly playing some good footy so far tonight. Earlier on, North Queensland beat St George Illawarra 38 to 32. And Billy Moore's with me. We're watching fireworks now. Billy, as in not of the figurative kind, the literal kinds. And there were figurative fireworks in that first half as well, mainly because Jason Riles is getting this team to show bits and pieces. Whether or not they can show up for 80 minutes against one of the competition hotshots is another question. But, well, what have you got to say on the evidence we've seen from the 40 minutes?
I think the key is exactly what you just alluded to there, Q. They're going to do it for 80. Last week is evidence plain to see they lead the competition favourites at half-time in Canberra and then get walked over in the second half. So for mine, this is all about the Eels in the first 20. If they can turn at the 60-minute mark and be in the game with Moses in the mood he's in tonight and the strike power through Lomax and co, but they can give this a real shake. But you're expecting them to fall apart. This is the key about a young coach with a rebuild. It's how quickly he can pass on his philosophies to that team, and he needs his senior players to take control now and get them to learn from last week's lessons and put that into practicality and change the habit. So if they can do it for the next 20, I just got a feeling that the Eels, they've got another gear just through confidence alone, and they will fill the grounds well. I mean, you've got young players like Papali, the fullback, he looks a treat. And the young hooker that's come off the bench,
Talon De Silva.
De Silva looks great. I can see what they're building, the Eels, and there's a few other clubs in the same vein. It's about being able to build the right structure that lasts under pressure. This is the key. Can it last under the pressure? Because the Broncos know, as you alluded to, they've got to keep winning because they need the top four. You're not going to win this comp, I reckon, if you're not in the top four, so they've got to finish at the top of the table.
Yeah, so what do we get? Do we get the repeat of last week where the home team gets on a roll, a home team with, you know, good players and a lot of strike, just like the Raiders did, and they ended up winning 40-16. So interesting to see how the Eels handle it this week. On the text line, you can get in touch, 0467 920 222. Hey, boys, I'm enjoying the call from Pittsburgh. Go Broncos, says David. Thank you. 0467 920 222. Dion, thanks for your continuing support. She loves seeing Zane on the sideline. We do a bit of a Where's Wally. You look out for Zane's watermelon shorts. There may or may not even be sort of pictures circulating within our own team of whenever Zano pops up with his watermelon shorts on the sideline. So, Dion, keep an eye out for that. If you're listening to us and watching the pictures, 0467 920 222. A guy who hosts a show called In Zane Rugby League is not going to have standard, boring shorts.
No, he was. No. And rain, hail or shine, he can wear them too. He's tough. He's from North Queensland.
Yeah, he'll be back giving us the word from the rooms in just a moment. Here's a quick one. Tim from Norman Park says, hey, what's Billy's first memory when he hears West's Magpies v North Sydney Bears at North Sydney Oval?
Well, my first memory about the West Magpies is when a field goal was dropped from 40 metres out and beat us, but that wasn't at North Sydney Oval, it was out at Campbelltown. So the West Magpies were always dangerous.
You played against Jason Taylor before you played with him?
Yes.
Yeah, would have.
Ellery Hanley was one great player I remember playing. He played with the Tigers, but he also played for the Magpies too.
Yeah, and got knocked over by Terry Lamb in a grand final very infamously. Here's Carrigan. He's got the ball as the second half is underway. He's about 8 metres from halfway as Walsh goes out of dummy half and takes the tackle just beyond the halfway point. Plays the ball there to Ben Hunt. Reynolds receives the pass. End of the set, it's a tumbling kick downfield which pitches on its point. Luckily for the Eels, it bounced favourably for Hawkins, who takes the ball and the tackle a dozen metres from the Caxton Street end. So the Eels are now running to your said imaginative right of your radio dial. Right of the TV pictures, right of where we look at that here in the western stand. So the Eels running towards the Milton Road end. Lomax middle of the ground. Taken midway goal line and halfway as the Eels are working their way upfield to Avaiti. Is now stopped. Australian schoolboy and New South Wales underage origin player, 15 from halfway. Eels to the right. Moses pops it up for the infield runner Benson. He beats a card tackle or two before Hetherington and Carrigan conspire to stop him on halfway. Last play for the Eels, blind side right. Given to Moses off the stemp. He pumps a towering ball downfield, which is well caught by Walsh, a dozen from his own line. And eventually Walsh tackled before getting to the 20. That was one of those hit the middle of the ball speculators. And Shibasaki runs laterally. Let's get down to Zane on the touchline. Halftime news.
Oh, well, I'm a little bit nervous, Q, because our boss in Tim Verrill sitting right beside me. He's very impressed with Mitch Moses' spiral bomb. One thing I'd say is Parramatta really wants to keep the ball in play. They want to try and fatigue the Broncos, and particularly they want to maintain the intensity. As for the Broncos, they want better completions and kick chase on Joash Papali. They're really concerned about what he's doing from the back.
You just take care of the work experience student down there, Zano. Good on you. Zane Bojack on the touchline. Reynolds to the right, gives to Walsh. Took contact on halfway. Chucks a homing pass out the back, which luckily for Brisbane, Addo-Carr had to go to his knees to gather it because it was well in behind the support on the right. That was one of those rocks moments coming from a diamond, Billy. Yes. Fox gets tackled, but Parramatta's got the ball. 30 out, shift to the right. Moses gives it on to Geimer, who's met solidly in the tackle. And Charlie Geimer will play it. 25 out. De Silva passes left out of dummy half. Hopgood, a little flat ball there. Ben Hunt gets in the way to make sure there's no way through for Tory. Good run, Dury, though. He's 11 out. Played to De Silva off to the left. Hawkins, double cut out to the edge. Russell straightens, but can't get through the defence of Staggs and Reynolds. Last play for the Eels. They trail 14-12. Back to the right. Hawkins gives it to Papali. Gives it to Moses. To the right edge. Benson, he catch and give. Lomax scores! Left to right shift through the hands. Simple yet effective rugby league for Parramatta to return to the lead at the Cauldron. Early second half. Lomax with a double. Eels 16, Broncos 14.
Love what I saw there from the Blue and Gold Army. Great set of six. Of a mistake by Reece Walsh. Ball dived on by the Fox. And then that set of six, Q, well structured. On the last play, they went through the hands. And a couple of key players, Papali gets involved. He gives the ball on to Hawkins, who goes to Benacini. And then Lomax put his hand up as the ball was being played on the other side of the field. I saw him just gesturing, saying, don't forget I'm out here. I think he thought it was going to be a kick, but in the end he was the beneficiary of a beautiful left to right hand sweep through the back line of the Eels. Wow, for a team playing or coming 16th, that is fantastic football.
Oh, you can see the green shoots, Billy. The green shoots are out there. And the smart thing with Mitch Moses is because he's put that kick in, he's now stretched out the defensive line and it's giving extra space for Zach to get the pass and be able to run in. So I call him Superman. He's just absolutely sensational finishing off tries, and some of the work he's done in Western Sydney Stadium this year in his first year in blue and gold's been extraordinary. But I'm backing him in. I reckon he's feeling it, Billy. I reckon the Superman's feeling it. I reckon he's going to kick it from the sideline right now.
Well, he's missed one tonight, Lomax, and that was from out on right touch. Tell you what, just watching them tonight, even the shape and the way they're going about it, they ain't South, they ain't the Titans, they ain't the Tigers either, right. This mob. They're better than that at this point of the year. Correct. Lomax from out on the right. Oh, not even Zane Bojack could stop him. Couldn't moz him. Sideline conversion for Lomax. Parramatta 18, lead Brisbane 14. 4.5 minutes played in the second half on Friday Night Footy on ABC Sport.
Hey Q, you know Happy Gilmore 2's out tonight on a streaming service, so just feeling the flow, Happy. Feeling the flow there, Zachy. Beautiful kick.
Well, who wasn't feeling the flow in that little stanza was Reece Walsh at fullback. You called it right, Q. You can see the diamond. He saw the space. It turned to rock when he risked it. But what was great for Parramatta fans is they're able to capitalise on an opportunity, put points on the board, and they're back in the lead.
Tuivasa-Vaitis done his bit off the bench as well.
Looks very good.
Young man with a 15-metre carry. First run off the restart. Now Dury down the middle third. Met solidly by the Broncos defence.
He's been good off the bench too.
Yeah, they've done their bit. De Silva, there's another of the Pine Warriors who have come on and made an impact. Short pass on to Hotgood just short of the 30 as Parramatta try and work their way up the centre third, now out to the left edge. Infield comes Williams, but he's taken there by Hunt and also Ricky. Williams plays it for Parramatta, 15 inside their own half. Moses will now kick downfield at the end of the set. It's batted backwards by Carapani. He controlled that tip well to Reece Walsh, but he was under pressure trying to prevent the 40-20 Carapani. Going back, he had to play at it, tapped it back to Walsh. Walsh gathers and gets up to the 20. And now Carapani helps out with a run infield, but still inside his red zone.
Oh, what a kick by Moses. You're right. If Carapani doesn't take that ball in midair and tap it back, that would have been a magnificent 40-20.
You play chess, Billy?
Badly.
Okay. Ezra Mann runs up to the 30. He's lost the ball. He's lost the ball, Ezra Mann. Parramatta will get a chance here. I know when my father taught me how to play chess, the way to sort of get into the game, he'd play without his queen, and then you try and work out, because you're playing against a superior opponent with less armoury. It feels like Parramatta has been playing chess without their queen. And guess what? Mitchell Moses is back. They got full armoury tonight, the Eels, and boy, what a difference it's making.
It's quality. Use the word structure and shape. That is exactly what they've got. Perfect structure and shape. Defensively great. Wanted to take an opportunity. 30 out centre field scrum.
Here he is, the queen of Parramatta to the left. The Papali almost got through. He got ankle tapped by Staggs. Gets up and gets taken. but is only 15 metres out, 10 in from the left. He'll play the ball to Addo-Carr. Passes back to Moses. Fresh set coming up on the ruck infringement, so Dory takes a settler. 33 minutes to go, but there's a murmur of nervousness around the cauldron. Parra leading it on the attack. Hawkins to the right. Moses for Guymer. Flat ball. Good read defensively from Piakura to make the first hit. Man helped out in the tackle. Eel 6 out to Silver back to the left. Through Moses to Hopgood. Dummies and then straightens the big fella, but gets taken by Jensen. Centre park and only 10 metres out. De Silva looks right. Hesitates now. Gives it right to Moses. To Papali. Through Bensony. Bensony for the corner. 3 around to stop him. Oh, he pops it out. It's forward though. Referee was right there. It's spooned out. Taken by Papali who scored. Moses is blowing up. But the referee called it forward.
Yeah, if he didn't call it forward, it was a try. Interesting play. Benacini gets caught. I thought if he gave it, maybe it would have been a better opportunity for Lomax, but in the end, he's dragged over. Just before he goes over the touchline, he flicks it out. And unfortunately,
right there.
Yeah, to me it is forward. It's definitely gone forward. But they nearly cracked the Broncos. I talked about confidence and the rising of Parramatta. The longer they stay in this game and down this end of the park, the more dangerous they look.
I love your analogies, Q. I don't know whether Mitch Moses will be too happy being called the Queen of Parramatta. I will say this, though, with King Gutho going earlier this year, they haven't had a King all year.
Well, that's the thing. You can't... the King's playing elsewhere now. But I just... It's sort of... I remember as a young man and doing it with my son. Penalty goes here to the Broncos. Parramatta offside.
Over enthusiastic at line speed.
It's amazing when you get the game manager, the man that can run the game back into a team which is being rebuilt. And it's only the 7th game that Moses has played this season.
Yeah, and you can see the difference he's made. Tell you what, you can see there's no Gutho, you mentioned no Dylan Brown, but you can see the young blokes that put their money into it and I suppose to trust the Eels. What I'm seeing tonight is going to bear fruit in season 2026.
Parramatta defending now with Brisbane kicking downfield. The Eels leading the game 18-14. Friday night footy on ABC Sport. Broncos up to the 40 at the Caxton Street end on the carry of Jensen. He plays it there. Walters is out on the field. Passes right for Reynolds. Gives to Walsh. Pops it up for the inside line of Staggs, but that wasn't fluent and very easily read, and Staggs has knocked it on.
Well, that's the 3rd mistake in 10 minutes for the Broncos. They have come out of their sheds in very poor shape. They're challenging this, and we know the guy, the best challenger in the game.
The ball coming out, mate, when it hits the ground, knock on Broncos. They're challenging.
He doesn't get this stuff wrong, Q.
He's very good at it, Adam Reynolds.
Yes, mate. Let's get a mark as well.
Has he got one wrong yet?
I wouldn't hesitate. I would hesitate to give it a finish.
For him, whether Katoni maintains possession.
He was relying on Katoni Staggs.
Hands around the ball. The hand's still around the ball as it makes contact with the ground.
I think he trusts Katoni, and I think Katoni's going to reward him. I can't see it loose yet, Q.
At no point does it become loose.
The
challenge is successful.
He's got to play it.
He's the best.
Adam Reynolds and the captain's challenge. Yeah, if you're at referees training, you'd sort of shake in your boots. They'd have sort of little quiet conversations about Adam Reynolds challenging your calls, and as soon as he challenges, you realise you're in trouble. So, not a knock on from Staggs. Brisbane's got the ball. How many tackles left in the set?
That's tackle 4, I think.
Okay. There's, I think, 2 more after this. They're 25 out. Now to the right. Reynolds. Oh, he didn't give the pass. Gets swept on by the defence. Tackle made by Dury and also Williams. Last play Broncos. So Walsh is the architect with Reynolds playing it. Chip across to the left side. Knocked backwards by the Eels. Benson, he's knocked it back to Papali.
Backwards, then he gets tackled in goal.
And Papali tackled in the in-goal area. Goal line dropout Parramatta. 0467920222 if you want to get in touch. Please send us your name and where you're texting from. That's 0467920222. Half an hour to go. Parramatta 18, lead Brisbane 14. Quentin Hull, Billy Moore and Zane Projak bringing you inside the cauldron with us on what's a gorgeous Friday night for footy in this part of the world. Long restart 50 on the fly almost. It bounces near halfway. Hetherington gathers his own side of halfway, then slips before running into the defence. But the Bronx are 41 metres out, so good gain on that kick. Walters one man to the right for Jensen. Charges up to the 30. Ankles taken by Hopgood. Good run, Jensen. Quick play the ball. Walters out of dummy half. Ruck infringement, 6 more. Walters taken 25 out. Quick play the ball. Hetherington to the left. Gives it to Reynolds. Oh, Carrigan was running on a weird line. He didn't know what was going on there. But the Parramatta side is offside. Penalty goes to the Broncos. What? Does Pat Carrigan need an HIA? What is going on?
Yeah, that was very...
Did he not know where he was?
Very sloppy. The bad pass hit his shoulder. This is a big let-off for the Broncos. Just trying to see the offside. Yeah, maybe just in front of it.
He was sort of trying to run a change of angle line, and
yeah, it was a poor pass, but just unlucky for the Eels. They were called offside because defensively they are strong tonight.
Broncos only 8 metres out now. To the right, Reynolds gives it for the inside line of Ricky. 3 around, make it 4 around. 5 around him on the goal line, Jordan Ricky almost. He's held up right on the goal line at the Caxton Street end. 10 metres to the right of the uprights. Walters shifts it left for Reynolds. Big pass to Ezra Mam. 6 more. Shift to the left edge. Piakura taken down one-on-one by Will Benson. Great tackle. Piakura plays it out in the left. Shibasaki shifts it back infield and right. From Walsh to a flat-footed Jensen. And Jensen's easy enough pickings. 5 to the left of the uprights. A dozen from Parramatta's line. Eels leading 18-14. Right in centre field given to Carrigan. Now Reynolds holds it. Tries to pass to the edge, but Addo-Carr is there to get his fingertips on a Harbour Bridge pass. Control it, intercept it, get tackled, but most importantly, win possession for the Eels. Addo-Carr intercept. Now, you don't have the image of him fingertip controlling it. You think 90-metre scoot downfield, but boy, what a play from the Fox to read that pass. Eels have got it midway goal line and halfway.
What a passage of play defensively by the Eels. Had a few tough calls go against them for being offside, potential knock-on. All in all, their defence stood up under that pressure, Q.
Williams with a good carry, 15 from halfway, and now De Silva.
Good carry.
Yeah, another 15, 16, just beyond halfway. Eels into attack, end of the set. Moses puts up a high bomb. Walsh is under at 15 out. He's being challenged for it. Been knocked on by Parramatta's leaper there in Lomax. Superman couldn't fly and catch that one, Zano. Walsh has got it 20 from his own line.
And he's injured too, Q.
Yeah, just a little hampered running towards your wing.
Geez, they're looking confident though, the Eels. As I said, about the 20-minute mark will be key. If they can stay in the contest, which they are more than easily tonight, they're looking good.
Shibasaki gains a few metres down the middle third. He stopped 15 inside his own half. 26 minutes remain. Parramatta lead 18-14. Broncos working their way upfield. Left side of the ruck. Little game from Willison, who's back out there. Now hands to the right. Hetherington to Reynolds to Walsh. Dummy. Forward pass to the edge.
Oh, by a mile.
Blown up immediately.
That's another
double cut out. Yeah.
Another rock moment by... You can see he gets excited. The fullback. Walsh, you can see his power, his speed creates opportunities, but again, the wrong pass selection, and that was a metre forward easily, Zano.
Yeah, definitely forward pass there by Reece Walsh. Just been watching Zach Lomax. I think he's got a cork on his right, just basically his shin. He's been feeling for it. I don't think it's going to stop him being able to play the rest of the game out, but he is in a bit of pain out there.
Yeah, this is going to be a great attack opportunity. This set of 6 here, they're going to get to the scrum, feed 45 out their own line. They're right on the attack queue.
Bensoning with the first carry right side and into attacking territory. 43 metres out, 15 in from touch on the right. 25 minutes to go. Parramatta 18, Brisbane 14 Friday night footy on ABC Sport as Tuivasa runs infield and is tackled. Tuivasa up to his feet, plays at 35 out. De Silva off his left shoulder, gives him to Barlow. He keeps it away off his left shoulder, but no way through for Moretti, who's taken 25 out. Now to the left, De Silva through Hawkins. Papali, great pass to Addo-Carr. Sees the corner, pins his ears back, but Staggs and Walsh stop him. A metre from the corner post. Great right side shift defence from the Bronx as the Foxes denied.
Yeah, you can see too about seeing space and the eyes light up. The Fox, Addo-Carr, saw there's a challenge coming in here.
From Parramatta.
Captain chance from Parramatta. On-field ruling is that Josh goes out. They're claiming there was foul play on him, mate, which forces him into touch.
So, tackled over the whitewash.
3 metres from the try line. Key penalty if it comes their way, Parramatta.
Just seeing if there's...
Looks like high tackle.
Nothing action.
Oh, no,
from
Walsh's head.
Benny Staggs. Just need to clear the contact now from Reece Walsh.
So, it's a little high from Staggs, but then there's a head clash from Walsh running in. Did he try and tackle him?
There's wrapping action from Reece Walsh.
There
No
is
high contact. There's no shoulder charge.
Wrapping action.
Going in his title.
So that's Klein in the bunker.
And Josh goes into touch. The challenge is unsuccessful.
I can tell you the Parramatta bench do not agree with that whatsoever. I think he's a bit unlucky there. The Fox.
So which one do they think? They should have got one from Staggs or the
I think
head
the
knock
initial
from Walsh?
contact was high, Q.
I agree. I think it's the first tackle by Staggs. It's definitely around the neck. And that's a huge let-off for the Bronx. Unlucky for the Eels, but this side, young side from Parramatta, they're building in confidence.
Dylan Brown might not be an Eel for very much longer, but he didn't like that decision whatsoever.
Still got skin in the game, so to speak, tonight. 24 minutes to go. Parramatta 18, Brisbane 14. Broncos with the ball, trying to work their way upfield. Piakura is tackled 10 from halfway left edge. Blindside Walters dummies and goes himself, Billy. Gains 10.
He makes a difference off the bench every time Walters comes on.
Plays at 45 out. Walsh out of dummy. Passes for Shivasagi left edge. Dragged down by Benson. He passes infield. Did it take a Parramatta touch before going into Broncos' hands? No. I thought it may have ricocheted off Geimer and 6 more, but not the call as Piakura's taken. Last play. Ezra Mann with the chip from 20 metres out. It hits the uprights. Bounces backwards. Is mishandled by Hetherington. Now picked up by Williams. Gives it to Addo-Carr, who's taken down in the tackle of Staggs. A lot happening there. Eels have got the ball on their own 30. Kick hit the post. Eels got it, and then when Addo-Carr was ball in hand in broken field, you thought, watch out, but no. The Eels now working their way up to halfway. This is a much better game than many people would have expected.
Couldn't agree more. It's hanging in the balance. 23 to go. Eels in front by 4.
I think present company included, Billy. We've been pleasantly surprised here by the Eels. Bowler down the middle, third. Junior Bowler is taken about 32 metres out, the big fella. Slow to his feet to play the ball, right in the centre of the park. De Silva options either side, goes to the left. Hawkins dummies, runs infield, gets swamped. Nice tackle made one-on-one by Jensen. Last play Parramatta, 25 out. Moses the architect. The execution is a shallow bomb to the right side. Lomax leaps and mishandles. It slipped through his hands. Taken by Karapani, who's tackled 22 metres out. Zane Overton, you caught him Superman. He could have caught that. No one was jumping with him. The Bronx have got it on their 30.
He's not feeling the flow anymore, Q. Yes, I can stop the Southern Aurora. Poor old Zach. I'll lay off you now, mate. I think you're going ordinary.
You're talking about the new Happy Gilmore movie. Isn't there a new Superman coming? That's right.
It's already out, Q.
Oh, see, I'm way behind with that type of stuff. Ricky gets rocked in a tackle. Good shot. Yeah, it was Williams who just pushed him back a metre or two. Bronx 10 inside their own half. Ball played. Willison down the middle third. Not as dominant tonight as he had been in previous weeks. Willison so far now. Haas down the middle third takes the Bronx into attacking territory. But again, a little angle on the run. He's taken 45 out. Last play, Brisbane, blindside left. Walsh steps, runs it, beats a tackle, draws a man, passes to Walters. Walters scores! With the defence coming across from 5 metres out. Oh, you keep digging. Rock. Diamond from Reece Walsh. 18 all. Kick to come off the back of a Walsh scoot. And determination from Billy Walters to carry the last defender 3 metres over the line.
Oh, you're so right. That's the diamond. That's what makes Reece Walsh so special. The Eels, more than in the contest, showing great enthusiasm with their line speed and chasing on the inside. They'll give it a little sniff. Reece Walsh gets the ball from dummy half. A big left foot step, goes the gas, tears the heart apart of the Eels right through the middle. And then Billy Walters, mercurially playing off the bench, makes a difference every time he comes on. Great work backing up them through the middle and had plenty of work to do, Q, after he got the ball. Great power and strength to find his way across the white line. This game is alive, 18 all kick to come.
Yeah, as soon as Reece Walsh took that ball, Billy looked up at the commentary box on level 6 and said, "Stuff you, Billy Moore. I'm going to step right through and show you that I can play footy." And he definitely did. Great pass there. And Billy Walters, he's a killer, Billy. He comes on the second half and kills teams.
Reynolds converts midway between the left touchline and the uprights. He's a perfect 3 from 3 on the night. And Brisbane go to the lead with that conversion. Broncos 20, Eels 18. 20 minutes left in the game. On the SMS, got a couple liking the chess analogy, thank you. Paris also sort of thought it was interesting, but Henry from Ballina, thank you. Andrew from Newmarket in Brisbane, thanks. 0467920222. Around the grounds in the AFL, the Western Bulldogs flogging Essendon. Dogs 17-7, 109. The Bombers 4-6-30. Half-time, Swans 7-8-50 lead the Giants 3-4-22. 20 minutes left in this one. Broncos back to the lead. Willison first carry just beyond the 10. About a dozen from the southern in-goal area as he's taken. Played the ball to Walters, the try scorer. Gives it on to Piakura. Can't get beyond the 20 under the tackle of Geimer. Now one man infield for Hetherington. Meets Barlaw to Avaiti and also De Silva there to make the tackle. Bronx 22 out, still at their end. One man to the left for Haas. Haas stands in the tackle, got an offload to Mam. Mam crashes into De Silva and to Avaiti. Bit of friendly fire there. Both are up and okay. So too's Ezra. Plays it a dozen from halfway. Haas another rumble down the middle third. Thighs pumping with 3 around him. 8 on the post-contact game. He gets into attacking territory. Last play, 45 out for the Broncos. Reynolds blindside right. Receives. Bombs. It'll come down 10 metres out. Knocked backwards by Walsh. Then knocked on by the Bronx. And a player picks it up in an offside position. Penalty to Parramatta.
Yeah, Ricky's offside. You can just see they're into the home straight now. And the Bronx are starting to go to the gas. Can the Eels stay with them? This will be the key next 10 minutes of this game. This is where they were blown off the park in Canberra last week, Parramatta. Under Mitch Moses' stewardship, can they stick with the Broncos? It's all about possession for the Eels.
Kick for touch and find at 15 from halfway out on the left. First carry taken forward by Sean Russell. The Eels centre tackle, 15 in from the left and 5 from halfway. Brisbane 20, Parramatta 18. Friday night footy on ABC Sports. Got 18 and a half minutes to run at the Cauldron with Quentin Hull, Billy Moore and Zane Bojack. Up the halfway, Walker plays it now through the hands to the right. Polo gives it on to Moses. He to Geimer, who's tackled. About 41 metres out, 15 in from the right. Moses is in at distributor. One man infield for Moretti. One out run from Luca Moretti, almost to the 30. Speaking of Moretti, an Italian name, we've got a listener on a train travelling between Cortina and Milan. Nice to hear from you. In the middle of the ground, little exchange here, Hawkins and Barlaw. Hawkins gets it back. He's wrapped up, though, by the tackle of Ricky. Last place is referee Smith. Parramatta 30 metres out. Again, it's Moses at the end of the set. He bombs for Lomax's wing. Lomax, he catches it, drops it, and it's picked up by the Broncos. But the referee's whistle blows as Karapani was about to scoot downfield. Penalty going to Parramatta. Gee, a lot happening there. Lomax sort of controlled the catch and then went to ground under a tackle. The ball came out.
Great work by Lomax. There's a high shot here. Yeah. Well, not too dissimilar to Tony Staggs on the other side on the Fox, which didn't get awarded a penalty, so...
Piakura, the offender.
I reckon he might go here.
You think?
I have a feeling.
Nah, he's all right. He'll start for that. But what that does do is a great opportunity, Q, for the Eels. 12 out, set of 6.
Wow, they take the tap and go. Interestingly, 2 would have level it up, but the Eels, they're going for it here. De Silva, middle of the field, passes left, Moses on to Barlow. Good contact from Jordan Ricky on Junior Barlow. Now he gets some help, Ricky, and they push Big Junior back 7 or 8 metres. Barlow to play it, 13 metres out. Moretti, one man to the right and down the centre third. Again, good contact. Ricky there with a couple of other Broncos. Reynolds and Walters, they push him back. Good D from the Bronx so far. Now to Silva to the left. Hawkins gives it. Russell to the Addo-Carr. is in! Out on the left edge! Catch and give! And Josh Addo-Carr returns Parramatta to the lead. This has been a Friday night sleeper. Didn't expect much, but boy, it's turning into a ripper. 16 and a half to go. Parramatta back in front. 22 points to 20. Kick to come.
Zano, that was the old 1-2 shot. They ran 2 tackles and absolutely got pounded and driven back the Eels, but they realised as they kept winning those line speed battles and driving the Eels back, the defensive line kept shrinking, and then they saw the opportunity. They pulled the trigger. They've gone down their left-hand side towards Addo-Carr, and the young 5'8", former South Sydney player Hawkins pulled the trigger. Beautiful execution out the back left-hand side. Put away the winger for the Eels. Oh, they're more in this game. Great work by the Eels. Good vision by the 5'8". Well done.
Absolutely, Billy. They managed to get all the players concentrated in the middle, opening up the space on the outside for Josh Addo-Carr to score his 150th try in the NRL. The Fox, we love him. He's just a bloke who just gives his personality, and he now joins Greg Inglis on 150 tries, equal 18. He's one behind Kyle Felton. There's a couple other players, including Manu Vataboy, who's ahead of him on 152. But what an amazing club to join that 150.
What great names you just said.
Oh,
wow.
Now Lomax. Half a metre in from the left wing touchline, 22 metres out. Eels in front by 2. Lomax has kicked 3 of 4 tonight. Approaches. Strikes. Looks good off the boot. Oh, smashes near post and ricochets away. Chip pinged out of the boot. Really good contact, but hits the obstacle near side. No goal. Lomax is 3 from 5. Parramatta lead 22 to 20 with 15 minutes to go around the grounds in the AFL final quarter. The Bulldogs 18-7, 115. Essendon 4-6-30. Third term just underway at the showground. Sydney 8-8-56 to the Giants 5-5-35.
The other good thing for Parramatta fans, yet again, the Broncos make a mistake, Q, and the Eels have the rugby league IQ to make them pay. 15 to go. They're full of confidence here, the blue and gold. They can smell an upset.
Walsh with a restart and Junior Bowler with the first carry. 13 from the Caxton Street Enders. Passes there to make the tackle. Now Dylan Walker pops it up for Luca Moretti. How about that? Being on a train in Italy, you just get on the Listen app and listen to the footy. Thanks for your messages. 0467 920 222. Moretti plays it on the 20. Gain of 8 down the middle third for Dylan Walker as the Eels try and work their way upfield. Error free. De Silva to the left. Hawkins gives it on to Williams. Jack Williams has got an offload away, but a second phase here. Papali taken down 9 from halfway by the tackle of Walters one-on-one. Papali plays it. De Silva, no marker. Pinches it 10 metres or so, gets tackled. Chucks a loose ball out the back. Geimer has to clean it up and does so, but loses a bit of momentum there. The Eels Geimer taken on halfway. Last play for Parramatta. Moses receives on halfway and bombs. It'll come down on the 20. Walsh tucks it and catches brilliantly and lands and is taken immediately 22 metres from his own line.
Mistake free, both sides. Whoever makes the error, you feel that'll swing the game in the opposition's favour.
Now, Zano, this is usually where the Bronx supporters get nervous and start to do their thing of chanting in the crowd and getting on the refs back. They haven't made much noise tonight.
Yeah, they've got to be quiet. I don't think they expected this, Q. The Eels, they've come here to win. I mentioned that Ray Price is here. You don't want to perform badly in front of a great man like that. And I'll tell you what, they're playing very well. Quick play the ball, though, and Walters gets hammered by Dylan Walker.
Yep.
Good work.
And the fans, they thought he wasn't square.
No, he was.
But he was. End of the set. Reynolds on his own 40. He's got some screw on that. Oh, it's a brilliant moment. Papali taps it in. Hatu gathers the ball. Well done, young man. He's up to the 20 before being tackled. That was a from nothing Adam Reynolds. Brilliant sort of check side grubber to the touchline, and Papali had to tap it in the field of play. to stop it going over for a 40-20. 13 minutes to go. Parramatta 22, Brisbane 20. The Broncos on a 5-game winning run. The Eels trying to stop a 3-game skid. Out on the left edge, Russell's taken. 30 from his own line for the Eels. One man infield for Williams. Taken down low by Staggs and up top by Willison. Eels 15 from halfway as Williams plays it. Now to the right through the hands of Walker to Moses. Offs it up for the infield runner Benson. He almost slices through the 2-man tackle but stopped on halfway. Quick play the ball to the right end of the set. Moses with a grubber. It'll roll towards the goal line, taken by Walsh about 3 metres in the field of play. Can only get up almost to the 10 on the kick return. And there's not many Broncs getting back on side. Eels defensive line is set. Gee, even just on the energy level here, this Parramatta side is belying its standing and record of only 5 wins this season. Now up in the middle third goes Arthurs. He stops short of the 30. A dozen minutes to go. Billy Walters with another great play. One-handed pickup and a 20-metre gain to halfway. He'll get up and play it in the middle of Lang Park. Reynolds is in a dummy half. He shows it, goes himself. Hawkins is there to make the tackle. Eventually they decide to stop him along with Russell. They're out on the right, 40 out. Last play, Brisbane. Walsh puts a left boot to the skies. It's a bomb. Young Papali's under it and catches it despite the late arriving attention from Mam. And the Eels will start this set a dozen from their own line. Even little things, Billy, just in a couple of moments in this second half, Reynolds has been playing the ball on 5. Just a couple of those things that have been a bit scratchy for the Broncos.
Yeah, it's because the Eels have rattled them. Their energy, they're playing with the enthusiasm. They're testing the Broncos. It's a great arm wrestle. What a ripping game. 11 to go. Eels in front by 2.
With 11 minutes to go. And with the ball, Walker with a little no-look give to Bowler off his left shoulder, but Big Junior's taken. Right in the middle of Lang Park, De Silva's done a great job out of dummy half. He passes here to Moses. Moses from halfway with a deep kick downfield, comfortably taken. Defensive left corner by Karapani. And the Bronx runs infield and a stop short of the 20.
I tell you, both replacement hookers off the bench, Walters and De Silva, have done an amazing job for their respective sides.
Shibasaki receives Zano and gets hit 1 out. He's up just beyond the 20.
You know how the little boy gets put in the corner? Well, Dylan Brown was getting too close to the action on the bench, and so he's been relegated by the NRL officials and been put back on the back bench, would you believe?
There you go. Now, good run from Piakura and quick play the ball 5 from halfway. So quick that Walters had to go to get to there at dummy half. He gains 10. And that's a bit disorganised still. Last play, Broncos 42 out. Oh, the first receiver's Haas. What's Payne Haas doing, chipping and chasing? It's taken by Papali just beyond the 20 in his tackle. Well, we picked it up there. Yep. Reynolds was tackled a couple of times on 5. Payne Haas is not the guy you want on play 6.
It wasn't meant to go to him. He caught it and he got it and he had no option, but he's done a little chip over the top. But I'll put that down again to the defensive integrity of the Eels and their line speed. This game's hanging in the balance. It's an arm wrestle. So much belied that the game we expect. This is a ripper.
9.5 minutes to go. Friday night footy on ABC Sport. Here's Billy Moore on Quentin Hull. Zane Bojack on the touchline. Paralead at 22 to 20. They shift it to the left edge, the Eels. Russell's cut down in a tackle. He'll play it 5 in from touch on the left, 45 metres out. Last place is Rev Smith. Pass goes to Moses. He's rushed at by Carrigan, gets past him. Then puts a boot high, deep downfield. Karapani catches it. A dozen from his own line for the Bronx. Laterally, he runs across the 20. Can't. Oh, gains about an extra 4 or 5 before being stopped midway goal line and halfway by the tackle of Williams. Played to Reynolds. Blindside right given to Staggs. Staggs beats 1, beats 2. Staggs to halfway. He's got the fullback in front of him. Papali gets him. Drags him down. Great tackle. Papali on Staggs out on the right. With the Broncos now only 20 out. They trail by 2. Shift to left and centre field. And further to the edge. From Reynolds to Walsh. Out to Shibasaki's edge. He's picked up and dumped in a tackle. But the referee gives the Broncos a penalty. Now this is interesting. Hold on.
So the penalty's been washed away?
Because it's a 6 again.
6 again. 6 again. It's a 6 again.
He made the wrong call. Todd Smith realised it had to be 6 again, not a penalty. Which shows you very apparently the folly of a team trailing by 2 getting penalised that doesn't get the chance to kick for 2. That's a big argument that we don't have time for, Billy. Left side. Oh, Shibasaki's knocked on. A bullet pass from Walsh has knocked it on. Lomax picks up, almost bursts a tackle or 2 before being stopped on the 20.
Well, controversially, Zach Lomax kept the ball in his hand and wouldn't let the Broncos play on quickly, so they've been almost double banged there. They actually couldn't get the penalty as well as not being able to get the ball back.
Eels with the lead by 2. 7.5 minutes to go. Parramatta with the football. They're 5 from halfway. 15 from halfway on the tackle of Benson. He takes a step forward. He's about a dozen out when he plays it. One man infield to Hopgood. Jermaine Hopgood taken 5 metres inside Parramatta territory. Now young Smith's back out there at dummy half. One man to the left for Hawkins, infield on the run. Comes Williams, tackled 45 out from the Bronx line. Last play Parramatta, not last play. It was the second to last play. They ran it, and the tackle was good. Yeah, Piakura smashing Walker. End of the set. Moses with a chip from 30 out. Comes down 10 out again. Walsh lets and catches well. And Walsh secures the bomb. He's caught 11 from his own line. 6 minutes, 33 seconds left. Parramatta lead Brisbane 22 to 20. The Eels who haven't won since round 16. They've had a 3-game losing skid. Bronx have won 5 in a row. As it started the round 15th versus 5th. And the Eels lead the game. Shibasaki tackled on the 20. Now Ricky, one man to the left, infield and short of the 30 when stops. They're at the wrong end of the park, the Bronx. For their liking, now Carrigan flat-footed.
Good defence.
Yep. Again, they're in his face. It was the likes of Williams and Guymer there. Now Reece Walsh is going to have to kick downfield. I don't think Adam Reynolds is right. Walsh has kicked it out on the full. This is not happenstance that Adam Reynolds is not kicking on the last play. That's another Reece Walsh kick at the end of the set. He's kicked it out on the full. Zeno, are we looking too deep into this? But there's a reason why Reynolds is not kicking at the end of the set.
Yeah, obviously when he didn't take that conversion cue, he must have strained something on that intercept. But yeah, Walsh has done a lot of the kicking, and as Billy said, he's rocks and diamonds, so you're going to get some good ones and some bad ones.
That's the rocks moment. But the key there again, I'll put it down, forget about what the Broncos are doing. It's what the Eels are doing. They made 15 metres and 5 tackles there, the Broncos. It was because the Eels' defence is so good at the moment.
Thanks for all your messages. We're getting them. We just can't refer to them all. Such is the nature of the game here. 5.5 to go. Listeners all around the world, Billy, tuning in to what is potentially one of the upsets of the season. Parramatta could seal it off here. There's 5 to go. They lead by 2. They're 21 out. Played by Williams. Pass to right and centre field. Walker through the hands to the right. Moses pops it up to the infield runner Bensony, but he can't get through. Will Bensony 18 metres out. 15 in from touch on the right as he plays it there to Young Smith. Passes in through Paulo to Walker. And Walker has got 3 around him, but he's going to be held up and asked to play the ball 15 metres out. 5 minutes to go. Parramatta lead by 2 to the left. Hawkins to Papali. Cut out for Addo-Carr. He has to go to ground near the corner flag and the touchline. He stopped right on the eastern touchline. Only 5 metres out. Back towards Hawkins for a kick. Crossfield at the end of the set. It's ricocheted around. Jumped on by the Bronx.
Knock on Parra.
Knock on Parra. No advantage as Walters cleans up, so he'll come out a metre or 2.
Wasn't their best set of 6 there, the Eels. They didn't put it together well enough. So we've got 4.5 minutes to go. It's hanging on a thread, this game, Q.
Broncos 2 wins outside of the top 4 as the round began on a 5-game winning streak, and there is Guymer leading the way with Williams getting underneath the rib cage there of Gajewski, who hasn't seen a lot of time. Now to the right, Reynolds to Walsh, edge. Staggs' pass is knocked down by Addo-Carr. Why not? Fox cleans it up. He knows it's a knock-on, but that diffuses that right side shift from the Broncos. 3 minutes, 48 seconds to go. Parramatta 22, Brisbane 20.
That's the key numbers you just said there, Hugh. There's 3 minutes 40 to go. It means the Broncos are probably going to have 2 more sets of 6, barring mistakes. So for them, they've got to get good reward when they have the ball in hand. They've got to now go 65 metres to get the other end of the park.
Ezra Mam, first receiver off the scrum win. Tackled on his own 30. Plays the ball to Walters, given to Gajewski. Rolls down the middle third. 8 from halfway, went tackled. 3.5 to go. Bronx with the ball, but trailed by 2. To the left, it's given to Ben Hunt. Rocked in the tackle and put down on halfway. Quick play the ball to Walters. Haas receives with momentum. Surges down 10. Gets an offload to ball to second phase. To the right. Hunt with a cutout towards the Arthur's edge. Great defence, though, from Addo-Carr. Knocks him down. 32 metres out on the right. Or he mucks around in the ruck. Ref says no ping. Keep going. 2 tackles left. Ball to centre field. Carrigan's put down. Last play, Broncos. Centre field and 30 out. Ben Hunt's got it. They run it to the right, given to Reynolds. Pop ball to Ricky. Ricky to the 10. Ricky 5 out. Taken by 2 defenders, 3 from the goal line. Hand over. Parramatta ball. Eels have got 2.5 minutes to survive. They lead 22-20.
Good tackle by Addo-Carr in that set of 6. It's all about the Broncos defence. Can they get the Eels to make a mistake?
Oh, Mitch Moses back tonight. This is his 7th game of the season. The Eels have only won 5 times this year. What an upset this would be. Junior Bolo just beyond the 10 has stopped. Now a dummy half, Young Smith pops it up to Benson. Gets beyond the 20. Will Benson, he plays it. Midway goal line and halfway. Smith with a dummying, stepping run. Out of dummy half. Give him 7 or 8 on that jinking, weaving passage upfield. Taken 15 inside his own half. Plays the ball there to Moses, a distributor, who gives it to Hopgood. That's the sound of nervousness, people. There's 40,000 in the house at Lang Park, and the Bronx fans can't believe what they're seeing. Moses kicks downfield at the end of the set. It's a deep kick caught by Karapani. 15 from his own line. Runs infield, and will be taken centre park, just short of the 30. Here's your last chance, Billy. You get a shot, and then it's mine for the last minute.
This is the last roll of dice for the Broncos. They've got to go to the edge, got to go forward, make some yards, and then have a shot. Reece Walsh, Ben Hunt, let's show some magic.
Broncos are within 5 from halfway on the carry from Carrigan. There's 80 seconds left in the game. Parramatta lead by 2. Reynolds receives, centre field, passes left man, men in motion, gives to the edge for Shibasaki. Nice tackle, Lomax coming in from the wing to knock him down. Broncos 42 metres out. Walters blindside, gives it to Mam. He passes there to Gajewski, who's tackled. Meanwhile, Haas is down in back play and hobbling. There's 58 seconds left. Broncos back to the blindside. They run it on the last. Gives to Shibasaki. Grubber is mishandled by Papali. And Reece Walsh grubbers into the in goal. Scores the go-ahead try as Joash Papali needs an excavator to dig a deep hole and hide, because that fumble has cost his team the game.
Wow, that's how you get yourself out of jail. The last roll of the dice, the last tackle. It wasn't a great set of 6 by the Broncos by any means. But on the last play,
hold on,
challenged it.
Referees.
Offside chaser.
Is there a man? So
he's offside.
Shibasaki.
Reece Walsh is required to have both feet behind the ball. At the point of the kick, he is in front.
Oh, young Joash Papali. His prayers have been answered.
Take up a position in front of him.
Papali went low, 5 metres from his own line, and fumbled it. But Walsh is offside. No try. Parramatta 22, Brisbane 20, 43 seconds left. My word.
I should have seen the agony in the XTQ as no try comes up. The Parramatta bench, their heads were down. Now they're smiling. They can't believe it. They won the lottery. Unbelievable.
And Big Pain can't walk freely.
There's
a story beyond the game.
That's probably even more worrisome for the Broncos team and the fans. He looks in the world of hurt, Payne Haas.
And he did come off the ground after the warm-up.
Yes.
Looking hampered. So whether they've rolled the dice with him, but yeah, he is limping back to halfway. Penalty Parramatta. They kick for touch. There's still 35 seconds left here.
If I was the Eels, I'd run at him, Q, because he's flat out moving out there.
Well, if I was the Eels, I would hold the ball and cuddle it and have 3 men around me and let no Bronco near me.
100%. They retain possession. They win the game. A great win. Probably their best win not only this season, but probably the last couple. It just shows you what they've got coming down the pipeline.
Para with the tap on their own 31 seconds to go. And now programmable cramp for Bensony, who goes to a knee. Plays it as slowly as he possibly can. Dylan Walker, the next man to go forward. And he's held up 10 from halfway. 19, 18, tick, tick, tick. Eels lead by 2. They're 10 from halfway. And absolutely no intent from Lomax to go forward. He grabs the ball. He cradles it to ground as if it's a newborn. 6 seconds to go. He plays it. 1 play left. Smith out of dummy half. Takes the tackle of Walters. What a Friday night upset. What a triumph for Parramatta. The Broncos winning streak has been snapped by a competition cellar dweller. The Eels winner. Friday night thriller. 22 points to 20. Parramatta has won. Oh, what a performance. What a performance from the Eels. And oh, how M. Moses returning to the team makes a difference. It's not about one man, but boy, Billy Moore, your wrap-up will be interesting to hear. The Eels winning 22-20. Lomax scored 2 tries. Russell and Addo-Carr scored tries as well. Lomax kicked 3 goals from 5 attempts. And for Brisbane, Reynolds, Hetherington and Walter scored the try. Reynolds kicked 3 from 3. Walsh 1 from 1. Bronx led 14-12 at half-time. Eels win at 22-20 after Reece Walsh had gone into the in-goal area off a howler from Joash Papali in the last minute of the game, only for the referee to deem that Walsh was offside at the grubber that put the ball on the deck at the young fullback's feet. Let's get down to Zane Bojack.
I'm down here with a milestone man. 150 tries in the NRL. He's just congratulating Gemma Shibasaki. Not only 150 tries, Josh Addo-Carr, but a win up here in Brisbane in the Parramatta colours. How does that feel?
Yeah, pretty special, man. All the best for season. I'm just so proud of the boys' efforts. I think that was our best performance all year. We know how we want to play, and that's exactly how we want to play. I know we leaked a couple tries there, but we toughed it out, and that's what we wanted.
How good is it having Mitch Moses out there? Because the kicks, the passes, he just helps you guys so much.
Yeah, his kicking game done wonders for us tonight, and I feel like that's what we've missed is his experience. And yeah, full credit to the boys, man. We dug deep today. That's good.
What will this mean for your club? Because Joash Papali, or should say Papali, he was outstanding at the back, and you've got Isaiah Oyongi who's out injured. You've got so much young talent. Dean Hawkins partnered up with Mitch Moses tonight. Do you feel like there's some really strong building blocks for you guys moving forward?
Yeah, there is. Like you said, we've got a couple of young fellas coming through the system here, and full credit to Rolls and the coaching staff for backing these boys. We've got a couple of old heads that are teaching the lads, and we're still working out how we want to play. We've got a good idea how we want to play. It's just about doing it consistently every week and every day.
I know at the start of the year, the Melbourne Storm got the better of the Parramatta Eels. Do you feel like you're ready to take on your old side now with this the format that you're playing, the defence you're showing, the resolve, and also just the fact that you got Mitch Moses?
Firstly, they're a great club and they're a great team, and the way we started tonight, physical, and we threw the first punch, and that's what we want to do. So we just need to keep being the best we can be every day, keep rising our standards, and yeah, hopefully we can put a good performance on next week.
I want to ask you a question. Do you know who joined tonight on the try-scoring list? I'm sure he's one of your idols.
Who?
Greg Inglis.
Yeah, it's always special to see another brother boy doing good, and I'm just grateful to be a part of that list, you know what I mean? It's hard to get to. I always say scoring tries is the best feeling in the world.
Well, talking to you is pretty good feeling as well, Josh Addo-Carr. Congratulations on a great performance and well done on a great win up here in Brisbane.
Thanks for having me, guys. Means a lot. Thank you.
150 tries now in the career of Josh Addo-Carr. It's had its ups and downs. Do you think this time about a year ago, he got himself in all sorts of drama, but here he is at his new club and playing a role for a club on the rebuild that's had probably, dare we say it, Billy Moore, its best day at the office in the Jason Riles era so far.
Without a doubt.
Zano, back to you.
Yeah, I'm down here with a try scorer. He looked good out there too when he had his opportunities. Kobe Hetherington, unfortunately, you guys just didn't get the job done. What was the feeling? Was it flatness after the bye? Did you underestimate them? What was the thoughts of your Broncos players as you've been talking to them now?
Oh, no, we didn't underestimate them, mate. They've been playing good all year, so we just had to come out and play our game, which we didn't. We had plenty of errors and we just didn't complete sets, so yeah, it just killed us in the end.
I know that was a focus from your coach, Michael Maguire, at half-time about the completions. Joash Papali, how tough was he to stop tonight? He was coming back with plenty of vengeance, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was good, and we probably let him run too much. Kick chase was off, and yeah, we just got to form that one line and get our kick chase and all the little 1%ers sorted if we want to make a good run for the finals.
Now, you guys are in a period where you play tonight, then you play next week against South, you go down and play Melbourne, then you come back here. So you've got 3 games here at home. You need to bank those wins, don't you? Because you don't want to get the Warriors too far away if you possibly want to get in that top 4.
Yeah, mate. Every win, you know how close the ladder is, so every win counts, and these are the games we've got to be winning. So very we'll be disappointed, but it's not over. We'll go back training and train hard, and come back to it.
We saw Payne Haas not only limping before the game, but at full time. Have you spoken to him? Do you know what's wrong there?
I haven't spoken to him yet, but he's a tough bastard, so I'm sure he'll get through this week of training, and we'll look after him, and I'm sure he'll be right.
Talking about those tough bees, your dad's one of those as well. He's celebrating down in Sydney at the moment, isn't he, for that 95 premiership? He said today on radio, I heard him say that you're very keen to get a new contract, and obviously the little 1%ers that you put in there that you're hoping you get rewarded. How close are you?
Yeah, mate, pretty close now. But that's my manager's job. I'll leave that up to him. But old boys in Sydney, I probably won't hear from him the next few days. He'll be on a bender. So.
Well, look, can I just say this, Kobe? I always love watching you play. You're doing some great stuff out there. Congratulations on the try. Getting off the nudie run's always a great thing, mate. And thanks for chatting to ABC Grandstand. Best of luck next week.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Kobe Hetherington, yeah, Dad Jason, along with all those Canterbury Bankstown boys from 1995, no doubt, having a good reacquaintance, shall we put it that way. 22 points to 20. Parramatta over Brisbane. Earlier tonight, North Queensland beat St George Illawarra 38 to 32. So many talking points out of that game. What are your thoughts? We'd love to hear from you. Drop us a line. 0467 920 222 is the number on the text line. Please send us your name and where you're texting from. 0467 920 222. And Zano, you found the number one chess piece out there.
Oh, look, I don't know whether he'd be too happy with you saying that he was a queen for the chess pieces, but he's definitely the king of Parramatta now that Gutho's gone. Mitch Moses, what a performance out there, mate. How good was it to be out there playing footy? Haven't been out there since round 14?
Yeah, mate, it breaks my heart sometimes watching up there and seeing how hard the boys have been trying. We've got a really, really young squad at the moment, and we've been in the fight more weeks than see you later. We've been in the fight for the majority of our games. There's probably been a bit of class that hasn't been able to top it off, or a bit of experience there. So I wanted to make sure when I come back that I come back with a bang and try to contribute as much as possible. And I thought the boys were outstanding. I thought some of our younger boys, man, from the start of the get-go, we wanted to start physical, and mate, our young boys really came to the game.
What are you going to do next year when you've got Oyongi available, Dean Hawkins available, and Joash Papali? I mean, Joash was fantastic in the one, but I'm sure he's probably going to be your 6th.
Mate, he's a great player. But that's what we're trying to build here at Parra is whoever gets put in, thrown in a position, wherever you go, you got to go and do a job. And Joash did that for us tonight. Had a little miss up there at the end, but he put himself in the position to make the play, and he just had to dive on it. But it is what it is. We probably had those calls not go our way the last few weeks, and it's probably hurt us. So it's good to be on the other end of one.
Yeah, I was just going to say, do you feel like you deserve better? I mean, this is only your 6th win of the season. I talked about the defensive structures I can see that Jason Ryall's put in there, and he's made some tough decisions on your roster. Do you feel like you're starting to get the rewards for that?
Yeah, we wanted to repay Rollsy with the faith that he's been shown in all the young boys, you know what I mean? And I think the young boys want to repay him with, it's not every day or every team gets to go and throw out a bunch of young kids and go learn on the run, you know what I mean? And he's allowed these kids to grow into players, and I think our back row, Kidione, we've been missing him as well for the last few weeks, and the footy before he got injured has been outstanding. He's gone from strength to strength every week. Yongi's the same, and we haven't really had a full-strength team on the field all year, and hopefully we can get that back in a few weeks when Izzy's back and Kitty.
All right, well, next week you take on the Storm, and I said to Josh Addo-Carr, first time you played them wasn't so kind. Do you feel like now you're ready to take them on? I mean, they're weakened too by Jerome Hughes with that injury, but do you feel like you're ready to play one of those teams and knock another one off?
Doesn't matter how weakened they are, mate. They have anyone who comes in, steps up and does a job there. That's why they've been probably the best side for the last 10 years, and yeah, they're going to come out fired up. They had a really good performance last night, and yeah, they've got a few injuries. We do too as well, but yeah, we're just going to go out there and compete on everything.
The last time you were at this ground, you won with New South Wales. Must have been tough watching the last couple of games without you, mate. I keep saying you Blues would have won. I'm the proudest Queenslander ever. You guys would have won if you were out there.
Yeah, it's tough to watch, but yeah, it is what it is. That's how it goes.
Really appreciate chatting to you, Mitch. Congratulations on a great effort.
Thank you. Thanks, mate.
Mitch Moses, captain, halfback, and yep, key chess piece for Jason Ryles back out there, and did what he should do, what he's paid to do. But that being said, it doesn't happen all the time. What a performance, first up after a spell injury-wise for Mitchell Moses. Great job, Zane Bojack down there. So you look at their other wins this year. So that's now 6 wins for the year for Parramatta. Clearly their best. The only other team around the top 8 that they've beaten was Manly. Their other wins, St George Illawarra, the Wests Tigers, Newcastle and Gold Coast. So that's in the top draw in year 1 for Jason Ryles as far as wins for Parramatta. 22-20, the final scoreline, Billy Moore.
Yeah, it was fantastic. What I liked about it was the resilience they showed under pressure, but the Broncos came home like a freight train. They withstood it. Last week against Canberra, they didn't. So to me, I can see the big learn, and that's the key thing. When you're in a rebuild stage, you're a rookie coach, you come in, and basically what you're saying makes a difference. You're on the learn journey with your players. If I was an Eels supporter, I'd be excited of what I've seen. Moses made a massive difference, shows you how good he is.
Joy from Ipswich text got a nickname for Moses, the lawyer. Can you expand, Joy? I don't get it just yet. 0467920222. The lawyer.
Well, he certainly
closes the case.
Well, he can talk the talk, but the thing is, he walks the walk.
Yeah.
And we know how good he is. And when you think about his record in Origin, I think he's played 4-1-4. If my memory serves me right. I don't know if he's been beaten yet.
I will double check that.
I know his record for Parramatta, what I saw tonight was outstanding. But as I said, going to what you can see, they're building out there at Parramatta. The coach is on the right track.
1-4, lost 2.
1-4, lost 2. I think I at least lost 2.
Played 6.
So I look.
That's mind you, if you keep that average, your team wins the series, doesn't it?
You do.
If you win 2 out of every 3 you play.
So I think that Parramatta have some real green shoots there. You know they're in a rebuild phase. What I like also, besides all that, is their defence. That to me is the key. And I saw the inside slide. They kept pushing across. They kept working really hard. Now for Brisbane, well, if Reece Walsh was, and it always if, but if he's half a foot back when that kick gets put in, he scores, they win. But it doesn't happen. And right now, the Bronx, well, they've been taught a lesson here tonight that every game is so topsy-turvy. If you're off your game a little bit, and they were off a little bit, you can get beaten. And that's what is a good competition. For them, was it a disaster? No, it wasn't. But there's some learns from that as well. And as I said before the coverage, that's their best team.
The Broncos could not have, maybe you, I don't know. I don't think Corey Pakes gets in that team.
No, he doesn't. Because Billy Waller's off the bench with outstanding.
Ben Hunt. Yep. So that's the best personnel that the Broncos can get, and they're on a 5-game winning run. They're playing at home against a team that's lost 3 in a row, only won 5 for the year, and their halfback's just coming back after an injury-interrupted couple of seasons.
We mentioned that they're flying under the radar. And I always said, well, the Broncos are the radar. That's how big a club they are. Maybe that's why they are flying underneath the radar, because their credibility, their consistency is in question. Now, it's about putting it together in the big moment, big game. Well, we will see, because they're sitting in 5th. The gap between them and 4th place Warriors gets a little bit wider.
Yep. And the Warriors win this week, it'll be 3 wins.
And I'm a big believer in this comp, how hard it is. You've got to be in that top 4. So they've got a real battle to get to where they want to be for season 2025. As I said, they looked a little bit off their game. I'm not quite sure what it was. And sometimes I wonder, when you've got on the park Reynolds, Mam, Walsh, Hunt. Sounds silly, but have you got too much same? Have you got three players that sort of almost want to do a similar role? I think about it, their diminutive ball running, question asking of the defence. That's just one little thing that goes through my mind. But I did think that the Parramatta Eels defence, and especially they were able to negate the go for the 1-2 punch of the Broncos tonight better than anything I've seen all year.
22-20, Parramatta has won on the SMS. Pammy from Cairns, well done, Parramatta. Always going to win tonight. Go the blue and gold, thank you. Mark from the Central Coast says, Spriggsy. No, it's Quentin, but thank you, Mark. Parramatta Rachel will be very happy. Good on her. Yeah, she's sitting at home and not as well as we'd hope. She's texted, though. Very sick at the moment, in a lot of pain, but I'm excited about where this team is heading. Half the team, 23 and younger, they're improving week to week. Tonight's result was the reward for all their recent effort. Looking forward to seeing what's ahead for the blue and gold. Thank you, Parramatta Rachel. I hope that's eased your pain a little bit. Certainly the result never hurts, does it? Rita from the Central Coast, she's in Paros in Greece. She's just finished 6 days sailing around the Greek islands, but that disappointment's been tempered. She's ecstatic for an Eels win.
I'm jealous. Para supporter in Paros.
Para in Paros. Tiger Dave from Coffs Harbour text, the Broncos are equal for wins with the Sharks. A month back, people were writing them off and questioning the coach. Is there a chance they don't make the 8? And we reassess whether the Broncos may need to rebuild. Oh, yeah, I don't know whether we go that deep, but it's certainly... they continue to be a team which can look like $1 million when the sun is shining, yet crumble to be $1.50 if they got to get their fingernails dirty.
Does this just...
Is that, and that's probably a bit harsh, but I'm just giving a bit of a... we've seen time after time this Broncos team, look great going downhill, but when you got to change momentum, there are issues there. And the other thing I'll pick up tonight, and I'm scarred from Origin as well. So when you have a number 7 that can't kick the ball, i.e. is not fully fit, it's a massive compromise to your team. No matter if you're Nathan Cleary, no matter if you're Adam Reynolds, like Cleary in Origin, Reynolds tonight, couldn't kick at the end of the set. That's the number 1, role at the end of the set for the number 7s. It compromised the Broncos tonight, and obviously... you can argue that it compromised New South Wales in Origin as well. As good as those names are, if you've got halfbacks, if you've got game managers that can't manage, well, I mean, it's a brave coach to sort of pull the pin, but it was apparent tonight that Reynolds was not right in the back 20 minutes of that game.
Yeah, good point. And you're right, he definitely wasn't running on all cylinders. What I could sense too is because he wasn't, other guys were coming in and out doing his job. And we saw a couple of times the ball was in the wrong hand at the wrong time, and you may comment on that. At one stage, I think we saw Payne Haas do a chip kick and did his calf straight after that. And
Reynolds was tackled on play 5. I think it was 2 sets in a row, or 2 out of 3, and Walsh had to kick.
And Walsh put it out in the full. So, question mark. What I will also throw in the mix, if we flip it to the other side of Parramatta, does tonight show you that Gutho being cut from Parramatta? I was one of those people saying, what are you doing? You've got to leave Gutho there because he's the DNA of the club. You're going to bring these young blokes in. He'd be a perfect teacher for what's coming down that pipeline. Does that show you that actually the Parramatta leadership and direction is actually on the money and they made the right call there?
I think it does.
And I was beating the drum saying you've made a bad mistake here. You certainly should let him go. I'm of the same thought pattern as yourself, because I haven't seen enough Eels games, and that to me showed me straight away. Because Longy's the guy they want to be there. He's out injured, so we saw the stand-in, and he was fantastic, Papali. So, to all those that have the vision and I suppose the balls at Parramatta, you made the right call.
Well, and you're always seen, in a sense, Jason Ryles coming in and has been given a bit of a licence to take a couple of steps backwards to ultimately get the club going forwards, and certainly it has been a steps backwards season. They won 7 games last year, Parramatta, so that's up to 6 now.
Yes.
Their next couple of weeks, by the way, Melbourne at home, North Queensland at home, and South Sydney at the Footy Stadium. Broncos, meanwhile, well, they've got Souths here next Friday night, and then they go to Melbourne to play the Storm, and then they got the battle against the Dolphins the week after that. So
Wouldn't that be great if that is a game which, in a sense, gives the rite of passage for both sides into the finals, or if something like the Dolphins, it's make or break. That could be a crucial game for season 25.
We'll get your votes in a moment. Quentin Hull and Billy Moore wrapping up Friday night footy here on ABC Sport, where Parramatta has upset Brisbane 22 points to 20. You can keep your messages coming on 0467920222. We had a pretty quick exit from Townsville, so we'll hear the wrap and the interviews in a moment there. Just around the grounds in the AFL, the Western Bulldogs have flogged Essendon by 93 points. The Bulldogs 22-11, 143 to Essendon 7-8-50. And the Giants were 35 points down against the Swans, and they've run past them and given them windburn. Amazing. The Giants now 13 goals, 7-85 to Sydney's 8-8-56 early last quarter. They were nearly 6 goals down, the Giants. And now they lead by nearly 5 goals. Wow. I haven't got the progression of scoring in that one, but that's the rudimentary nature of it. Giants 13-7-85 to the Swans 8-8-56 early last quarter. Okay, we'll hold on Bill's votes here, but let's take you to the wrap of the game earlier this evening in Townsville, where North Queensland held off a fast-finishing St George Illawarra. Here's Andrew and Luke.
Q, it was an absolute thriller. These are two teams that we won't be seeing play finals footy, and we could see why during that game, to be fair. Both teams had their great moments, and both teams had some inexplicable moments, whether it was discipline, whether it was defence, either which way, but thoroughly entertaining to watch. North Queensland winning 38-32. They had it wrapped up 28-12 at half-time. They scored 3 tries in the 5 minutes before half-time. Cohen Hess, who made a massive difference to them off the bench, he scored. Then Scott Drinkwater, and right on half-time, Jeremiah Nene. They scored 2 tries in the second half. Tommy Dearden and Jackson Purdue. But the Dragons, to their credit, kept on coming. Corey Allen scored in the 56th minute. 3 minutes later, Tyrell Sloan scored. 6 minutes later, Jacob Little scored, and it was 28-26 before those last 2 Cowboys tries. And then in the 78th minute, Jacob Little scored to set up a grandstand finish. But the Cowboys hold on somehow, Luke Lewis, to win 38 points to 32.
Yeah, amazing game of football. It was great to call. There's a heap of energy in that game. But I tell you what, the momentum shifts for me were just mind-blowing.
Yep.
Right from the start, the Cowboys stuffed up their first 2 kickoffs. The very first one, it went out in the full, gave opportunity to the Dragons. They had their chances. They couldn't get across the line. Second half, the exact same thing. But the momentum shift in that game were just absolutely crazy. But to be up by 12, then be back all, 12-all draw, and then all of a sudden they blew out with those couple of tries just before half-time, which was quite crazy. It was 28-12, and then I thought, how many points are they going to score? And then they worked their way back into the game, and then right up until that last minute, Clint Gustafson comes up with that horrible last play kick with no one chasing, but they were still in the game.
Yeah, it went down to the wire. But, there was some really thrilling moments through the game. But there's one bloke who stood head and shoulders above them all.
Tommy Dearden.
Yeah.
Freak, mate. He's been amazing for a long period of time, but every time he comes out of Origin, he goes to another level. And the experience that he had in Origin this year and the way that he played, He just gets the ball, he knows what to do, but his speed, the way that he plays the game, the way that he holds the ball, he puts everyone in two minds, especially the defensive line. I don't know if he's going to pass inside, he's going to pass out, he's going to throw a dummy, he's going to kick, but his speed is absolutely phenomenal. He had a blinder tonight, scored 2 tries, and when in doubt, you're right, just give it to Tommy. He is absolute freak at the moment. So the king of North Queensland, Tommy didn't, but I tell you, Cohen Hess, he played really, really good tonight. It's the best I've seen him play for a long period of time, especially after coming back from his knee, but that confidence is back, and some of the strong carries out in the middle of the field, beautiful to watch.
And Jacob Little was outstanding when he came on for the Dragons, but it's the story of St George Illawarra season too, Louis. 7 tries to 6 to the Cowboys. They're not beaten by 4 or less, but beaten by 6, another tight one.
Well, another tight one, and they had it there in the bag, really. They had all the momentum. They were at one stage it was 28-26, and I thought it was all going with the Dragons. Just one little hiccup here and there, and a couple of bad reads in defence. But for me, it's just that's all what it's been for them this year, is that their defensive structures and a couple of players just getting a little bit of fatigue and coming out of their structures that have let the opposition team come through and get that try right at the end. But besides that, they've been actually pretty good. So you've got to feel for the Dragons fans.
Louis, good job, mate. I'll catch you for Penrith and the West Tigers tomorrow.
Can't wait. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Louis, who gave in the ABC Player of the Year cue 3 to Tom Dearden from the Cowboys. Brilliant again. 2 to Cohen Hess off the bench for North Queensland, and 1 to Jacob Little, who again had great impact off the bench for St George Illawarra. North Queensland 38 defeated St George Illawarra 32.
Thanks, Andrew. Well, it was a pretty quick trip from Townsville to here at the back end of the game, so we didn't get those post-game interviews. We can bring them to you now. Let's start with the victors. Cohen Hess from the Cowboys with our own Laurie Spina.
Cohen, when the Cowboys can learn to play for 80 minutes, I reckon be a really good side.
Oh no, mate, we're so patchy. Like, we can blow teams off the park in 20-minute periods, but then I don't know what it is, if we get comfortable or we just get bored of doing what's working and we just invite teams back into the game. So we need to fix that, but I'm happy with the 2 points.
Yeah, it is. Defensively, letting in a few more points.
Yep. Yeah, that's obviously very disappointing. I think we're probably worse in the NRL for points conceded, so it's obviously not where we want to be, but I think it just comes down to holding the ball, turning it over where we want to, because we give away too many tackle 4, 5, 6 against penalties, and then that's why we just got to continuously to be defending our line, and in the NRL you can't do that because the teams are good enough to score points.
I thought tonight you were tremendous. Came on, made some strong runs, scored a really good try. Last year, you're not used to injuries. You missed the whole season with an ACL reconstruction. Was it hard coming back? How was the rehabilitation? And you're really hitting form now.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, it was tough, but the rehabilitation trainers at the club are tremendous, and they put me in good stead. At the start of the season, I was struggling a bit to find my lungs, but they're coming good now, and I guess I'm just reaping the rewards of it in the back end of the season, which is nice.
Comment on your number 7.
Oh, mate, I'm glad he's on my team. Like, I was just laughing. Like, he's going down the short side. There's 5 set defenders, and he just goes down there by himself, just throwing it around. Reminded me of an old JT, so I'm glad he's on my team. He was amazing tonight.
Still a bit of life in the Cowboys?
There is. Never say and die. We just got to keep winning. That's all we got to do. Just keep stringing wins together. You never know. It might be like 2017 when we scraped into the finals in 8th spot and made a run to the grand final. So we'll see how we go.
Appreciate your time on ABC Sport. Any mad cow tonight?
Only if you come with me, Loz.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh, come on. It's only a Friday night. Laurie and Cohen Hess at the Mad Cow after a Townsville win. Oh, watch out. We're going to have to get an update on that. That's Cohen Hess there with Laurie Spina. If you don't know what we're talking about, that's one of the famous watering holes in Townsville. Have you had a night at the Mad Cow, Billy Moore?
I've had 1 or 2 beverages there. Lovely venue. Yes, good fun. Especially to go in after a win.
Yeah, Mad just not only by name in that part of the world. What about the other side of the spectrum? We're speaking about King Gutho, the ex-Eel. Well, he's a Dragon now. Here he is with Laurie.
There's been so many times this year, been really close, maybe 6 or 7 games, and another one tonight.
Yeah, disappointing. We just gave them too many leads throughout that game, and we did really well to chase them back, and then 2 tries in the blink of an eye. And again, we kept fighting to the 80th minute. We knew that we were going to be in the game, but just gave them too many tries, too many soft tries, and disappointing again.
The effort looks like it's there, just a few errors in vital times of the game.
Yeah, just crucial one-on-one missed tackles or we just gave Tommy Dearden. We spoke about Dearden all week and short sides and show and goes, and he got us 3 or 4 times, and that's the disappointing thing. You do all the right things and talk about it, and they get you. So look, we're not going to give up. There's a long way to go. 6-7 rounds left, and look, really proud of the boys' effort. But we just need to find a win. We haven't done it the last month, but we'll just stick strong and keep going.
Tell you what, yourself, you've had a strong year, beautiful hands. How's the old legs feeling?
Yeah, old legs are good. Best I've felt this time of the year in a long time. But look, I'd rather feel like crap and be winning games. But look, it's footy. You got to keep fighting, and someone's got to lose at the end of a game. And unfortunately, it was us tonight. But as I said, we're just going to keep working, and hopefully it turns.
Plenty of sweat there, a little bit more humid here than down in Sydney.
They call it winter. It's 5 degrees in Sydney, so it's nice to come up here for a few days. Would have been great to top it off with a win, but look, we'll just keep building. We've got a long turnaround now, so rest up and get ready to go.
Appreciate your time on ABC Sport.
Appreciate it, mate.
Laurie Spina with Clint Gutherson. So 3 points to Tom Dearden in the ABC Player of the Year. North Queensland 38, beating St George Illawarra Dragons 32. Now, we've got Billy's votes to come, and if you were with us also earlier in the program, there was a little story that we needed to tell about a little presentation that I got kindly given yesterday at work. We'll get there in a moment, but while you're in form, Billy, we've got your little prediction